pushing all the buttons. And here we go. We pushed all the buttons and we are live. Welcome back. We finally did it, y'all. I know it was prematurely said last week. This time it actually is episode 10 of the Football is King podcast. Shane, for those of you listening on Spotify, is proudly displaying the Fire Bimbo shirts are in. They look great.
Hey, you should have definitely trademarked that, bro.
Penguins didn't score. All right. We keep going.
I'm still firing Bimbo.
You know what? You know what happens? For those who don't know, we might have some new listeners listening today because today is going to be a good one, y'all. It is Tuesday, November 1st. The football world has lost its mind. So buckle up. There's going to be plenty of fun things to talk about today. We're gonna try, because we know there's a lot to talk about. Today is the efficient podcast. It's not going to be short, but it's going to be efficient, and we're just going to go. For those of you that are wondering, Shane's daughter is on the screen, and she's adorable. And there we go. Okay, here we go. But we always start off with our untrue fact of the week, and our untrue fact of the week brings me nothing but joy, and Jonathan nothing but pain. The Raiders' offense did not cross midfield this week.
Yeah, it was bad.
Now,
We're
it
not
did.
good.
It did.
Their number ones didn't.
When Jared Stidham came in, they did cross midfield. But Derek Carr and the offense in 4 quarters of, well, slightly less than 4 quarters, did not cross midfield. It was bad.
I'm totally ignoring this segment because it sucks.
The Raiders are the worst football team in football.
No, we're terrible. We're terrible. And it may be time that we realize that he just might not be a head coach.
Yeah, McDaniels
he may just be a great
play
mind for football, just not a good
just
head
a
coach.
general rule. Belichick disciples are not good head coaches. Never have been.
I saw this fact as well. Who's the most successful Belichick disciple?
I already know it. I'm not going to say
it blew my mind.
it. Bill Parcells.
No,
right?
if anything, Belichick is a
Parcells is a disciple.
The sad part is you got half of it right.
It's Bob. It's Bill O'Brien.
Bill O'Brien. Yeah, and he's barely over 500.
It's 52-48, I think is his record.
And he's at coaching rehab right now.
Yeah,
I mean, he might just be in rehab. Who knows?
Literally the
he's
best
Alabama.
rehab you possibly could have.
Prayers up for Bob, man. I mean, the man has made some boneheaded decisions, and we appreciate his hard work. All right, that's our untrue fact of the week. Fantastic. Gambling wise, it was hit or miss. Shane is our big loser for this week, going 0-3.
Imagine that.
We talked about the rat lines and that Shane loves to take them, and Shane got bit a lot. That brings Shane's record this season to 7 wins, 16 losses, and 1 push, which is a terrible record if you're trying to make money. But we gamble responsibly here on the Football is King podcast. And it's just for fun because that's what we do. Blake and I came tied for second place this week with 2 wins and 1 loss. Blake hit on the Titans -2.5. The Sooners -1.5. Sooners are
that was easy, man.
Sooners are getting some good lines right now. They might be a team to look into. But Syracuse lost to Notre Dame, and so they did not cover. So that brings Blake up to 15 wins, 8 losses, and 1 push.
That's money making right there.
That's money. That's good money making right there. I would not be winning money because my record is currently an even 12-12. Now, if in my own personal spreadsheet, I'm at +25, so life is good there. But in my picks here, I did win in the college game where Ole Miss covered -2.5 against the Fighting Texas Zags. TCU is a covering wagon. -7.5. Got the.
They care about the people, bro.
They had money on themselves. They had money on themselves.
They're going Calvin Ridley style. You put money on yourself and you play to win the game. And then I did lose on. I really didn't think that the Las Vegas Raiders would score 0 points, and they did. So that was unfortunate. And then Jonathan, perfect weekend. called the Notre Dame upset over Cuse. He's also
I
riding.
believe all three of y'all told me I was fucking crazy for that one, and I told you they were gonna kick their ass.
It's possible. Jonathan's also riding the TCU train, just as I did, because it's a winning
Nice.
strategy. And the
They're
fighting,
also the best team in the Big 12.
fighting Illini up there got a win and covered the 7.5 point spread. So good for him.
Dude, I like that team. That is a fun football team.
The Fighting
Old
Bielema's.
school, run straight up your throat football. And I love it.
All right. Before we get into the madness that is
What channel is this freaking baseball game on?
Fox.
Fox.
Yes. Some other sports things. Currently, the Astros are down 2-0, but they have runners in scoring position. And I know that no one else cares, but the Penguins and the Bruins are tied 1-1. All right.
I just
so
think that.
when some of us are distracted, it's because we're watching other sports while we do this. But before we talk about football things, we always pretty much start on the Football is King podcast talking about something not football, not Taylor Swift this week. Let's do a basketball minute because the world in basketball also was lit on fire. Number one, are the Spurs the best team in football and ruining or in basketball? and ruining their
basketball?
tank? Like the Spurs, what is happening?
5-2. They don't have a single player that's probably over the age of 22 besides Doug McDermott. Greg Popovich said today they're just so young they don't know what to do, and it's working. I mean, they're unbelievable.
Hey,
They don't know how to tank, that's for sure.
We don't know how to tank. R.C. Buford has got his hands on his head. Like, what are we doing, Pop?
Victor
We literally
Wembanyama.
were making jokes. We were making jokes last week about the Spurs were going to tank for Wembanyama.
Wembanyama.
They don't know how to
they're
tank.
the best team in basketball.
So are the Lakers going to get Wembanyama? Because they suck.
They
They
might
are
be tanking.
terrible.
They might be tanking.
Can you they're
imagine
just so
LeBron-
dysfunctional.
Dude, if they tank and they become the first pick, I never want to hear anyone argue about him being the GOAT again.
Oh,
He's dead to
LeBron?
me at this point.
I mean,
Yeah.
LeBron would have to have like a torn ACL. Like that's what's going to happen. Like if tomorrow night LeBron tears his ACL and then you're the Lakers, yeah, you start tanking immediately.
My other real question is, it's a bad look when you give your coach an ice water bath over winning one basketball game. That does not look good for you as a team at all. Like it's expected in an 82 game season to win a basketball game. That's
I think,
Well,
yeah,
the other thing about the Lakers we're learning is if after LeBron's playing career, he's going to try to be a GM. Let's go ahead and take notes that LeBron is the worst GM in
Yeah,
sports
oh,
history.
he's Magic Johnson 2.0. He doesn't have. He's a good basketball player. He doesn't have the brain.
Pelinka thinks he's orchestrating that whole deal. He should run far away.
No, but I could watch LeBron James pass a basketball all day long. That dude can.
I like
he is,
LeBron on the court.
He is the
Don't
best.
get me
He's the
wrong.
best passer I think I've ever seen. He's amazing.
But they're going to be the worst shooting team in basketball history. They were shooting like
That's-
26% from three.
I've been watching a few of their games, and like they may suck as a team, but at his age, he is such a physical specimen.
Yeah.
That
Yeah,
dude,
he
that
is.
dude
It's
could have
unbelievable.
played any sport and just been a
Oh,
freak.
he would have been the best soccer goalkeeper of all time.
Just
And
a
for some
freak.
reason, he wanted Russell Westbrook. Does anyone remember 3 or 4 years ago, whatever it was, or 2 years ago when Russell Westbrook won the MVP?
Dude, when he
How
averaged
in the
a
heck?
triple-double 2 years in a row.
How do you make
Yeah.
it this far in the NBA without being able to shoot the ball at all? Like not even like remotely okay.
The man just made it. He just scored layups.
Because
on, like,
he
every
used to be
possession.
by himself.
Yeah, he used to just go the hole every play, I feel
That's
like.
the thing about basketball is you can be a solo player and then get on a team and not play team basketball.
James
Chris
Harden.
Bosh
Chris Bosh.
Chris Bosh won
Bosh
multiple
was-
championships.
was a superstar, and then got on a team with other real superstars and became irrelevant.
But that was his role on that team.
That was his role. He
No,
took his
Johnny,
role. That was like I don't think
What do you-
mute this guy. Mute this
No,
guy.
I'm
Russell-
thinking
Russell
more
was-
of like the Monte Ellis's,
Yeah.
the Michael Reds.
No, I understand, but my point is Westbrook
Brandon
is not
Jennings.
a role player. He's
Correct.
not a role player.
Agreed.
But Chris
Agreed.
Bosh is a role player when he needs to be.
Chris Bosh was like seventh best player on that damn Miami team.
That's the point.
He was not that good.
Third.
No, not third.
I mean,
Who
it
you
was
putting
literally
above
they were
is the
literally called the
Birdman?
big three. They were
You're
literally
gonna
the
put
big
him
three.
above the bird.
Dude,
man?
we
Above
put
the
big
Birdman?
three together all the time. Kevin Love was in the big three.
Kevin
He's
Love
who
was
else was on-
amazing.
Who else was on that Cleveland team?
You're gonna slander Kevin Love right now on this podcast?
Name the fourth guy on that
We
Cleveland
have
team.
gotten way off track here.
Sherman?
We
Name
just
the
became
fourth
a
guy.
basketball podcast.
What's his name? Iman Schubert or whatever his name was.
On Shumpert. Exactly.
He had a sweet high top fade though. It was glorious.
And he's out of the
Anderson-
league
I'm
now.
putting Birdman
wasn't
over Chris
Anderson
Bosh any
Varejao.
day,
What-
anytime. Birdman,
Anderson
baby.
Varejao.
Anderson Varejao.
Wasn't
Tristan Thompson, was he on that
Anderson
team?
Zadrunas Ilgauskas.
Oh, Elgauskas
Yeah.
was a beast on like NBA 2K12. That dude was a
I was gonna
monster.
say, he was a beast in 2007.
All right, hey, one more
Not that
basketball
good.
things.
Another homer. Philly
so-
is buzzing.
Steve Nash fired,
He gone.
replaced by I apologize for the
Ime
pronunciation.
Udoka.
Ike
Ime
Udoka or whatever his name is.
Ime Udoka.
Ime
Former Greg
Udoka.
Popovich
Wasn't that man
disciple.
canceled?
Played for the Spurs.
Wasn't
Former
he
Greg
canceled?
Popovich disciple. No, he's not canceled. The Celtics got mad because he had sex with a woman that also wanted to have sex with him.
Johnny.
No, he
No.
had sex with multiple women.
No.
No, it was
Also,
just one
no.
that came
It was
out.
consensual.
Just
But-
It was
one came out.
consensual.
But after they broke up, he sent unconsensual like, "Hey, baby, I want to get back together," and like was abusing his power.
That it? That's
I
what
mean,
he
you
was sending?
can't. Realistically, you can't do that because
Yeah.
you're like in a place of power at a business. Like you
This
can't
is
do
why
that.
you don't date where you work, people.
But also, there's no way he was going to coach for the Celtics again. So now the Nets are like, oh heck yeah, we got Ime.
I mean,
We'll take him.
yeah, they're terrible. The Nets suck.
Ime is a great head coach, was also in Johnny's standards, part of the big three, probably, because he doesn't know what a big three
Former
is.
G League. He was the original like the G League like to the NBA guy. He was like the first
Yeah.
one to ever make that jump and become a
Hmm.
legit player. Now the Nets coaching staff is going to be all former Spurs. They have Jacques Vaughn running the show
Yep.
right now. Ime Udoka is going to be running the show. It's all Spurs.
And
Oh,
Jacques is a baller.
I think Steve Nash should join Jason Kidd's staff. I think that would just be interesting.
Steve Nash is not going to be an assistant coach, I don't think.
No.
No, but it would be interesting for a season, you know? Just
Yeah. The two of
come
them
over
just hanging
for a
out.
season. Like him, Dirk, and Jason Kidd just hanging out all together again. That would
Yeah.
be fantastic. And Michael Finley down there. Yeah,
Oh,
that'd be
that'd
great.
be awesome.
Oh, I forgot about Finn.
Yeah, dude.
All
He's the head of the freaking G League team.
To Blake, who hit that home run in the Phillies game?
Alec
That-
Obon or something like that.
Yeah, they do with the real long hair.
Nice. And look at that. The Bruins are now beating the Penguins. What a rough time for sports when it comes to whatever. Astros, we're rooting for you, but you might lose this series. And
I don't know. I
Philly
really
is
want.
hot.
I really
Philly can
I
hit,
want
man.
Bryce Harper to get a ring, bro.
Hey, I do like Bryce
Philly is
Harper.
hot.
All right,
you guys
that
are all
concludes.
traders. You guys are all traders.
I mean,
I'm a
not-
Braves. I'm a
I've never
Braves
been
fan
a
I'd
Braves
anyway.
say I'm not.
I'm a Braves fan.
I'm a no baseball team. I mean, if anything, I'm a Royals fan. 2015 was a great year for us, and then after
That's
that,
why
it's
I'm
been
calling
terrible.
myself a
Hey,
Braves
had it
fan because I
wrong.
don't care about baseball. I've never had
Yeah.
a team, so now I'm rooting for the Braves.
All right,
I have
that
like
concludes.
6 different MLB shirts. Like I don't care about MLB.
That concludes sports that aren't football. Now it's time to focus up. All right, this week,
You put
this
that back.
week's episode is brought to you by the newest company. It's called Parody. This new company creates universes where nothing makes sense from one week to the next. Parody. Think your team are world beaters one week and absolute garbage the next.
It's not parody. It's
Sign up today.
karate.
Nope, that's not.
Right.
It's parody.
That's a different
All right.
word.
We're starting in the college football world. This is going to be a fun debate. Here we go. The Aggies looked better? Question mark.
Yes.
That's a good word. That's a good
Well,
word.
no. Offense looked better. Defense looked not
We have
great.
the worst run defense. We have the worst run defense in the NCAA. I'm pretty sure.
No,
We
don't,
went
but
back to
it's
3
close.
defensive
I,
linemen.
I think we're like
Yep.
I think we're 120 something.
I mean, yeah, we're
We
not
led
great.
almost 400
We're
yards of
not
rushing
great.
this week.
Dude, Ole
We
Miss can
literally
run the
went back
ball.
to
That's
3
for
defensive
sure.
linemen.
And you know what? I got to give props when props is due. We talk about coaching malpractice on this show all the time. Lane Kiffin is a great head coach. He understands the
Yeah,
run
I
game
like
is
him.
working. Even when the game got close, he was like, just keep running the ball. Just keep running
Look-
the ball. Just
Look
keep
for him
running
at
the
Auburn
ball."
next year. Look for him at Auburn next year.
Yeah, no, for sure.
They're about to come
Auburn is
knock
the
his
move for
door
him.
Oh, for
down.
sure. Yeah, they fired their coach this week, right?
Brian Harsin.
Today.
Yeah.
Today he's gone today.
Tuesday.
Yesterday.
I mean, it was yesterday, I think. But
It was
it's-
yesterday.
I think it was
Yesterday.
yesterday.
I'm losing my days.
Hey,
There's been
the
a lot of
football
stuff.
week this week has been crazy. That is a forgivable offense, Blake.
Been a lot
Wait.
of news.
I will say the Aggie offense started amazing. Connor looked great. Super solid start. Maybe a little lull in the middle of the game. Kicked it back up in the fourth quarter. Good for him.
What
I'm honestly
excited.
Like I am
Do
too.
you
I'm
think-
there. The
do you
season's
think
over.
that lull in the middle of the game may have just been the rhythm? Like he looked better when we were playing like at a somewhat of a consistent, faster pace.
Well, it also hurts when your defense can't get off the dang field.
Oh, dude,
They
the
converted
third
so many
downs,
third
like,
and 15s.
I don't understand how you have that many third downs that you just can't.
And it was like
stop.
third and 15s. I mean, it wasn't even like
Yeah.
third and 6s. It's third and 15s.
And then we pin them back and then give up a 16-yard run and then 3 penalties and then they score. Like
Holy
You
crap.
can't-
Another homer.
you can't do that, dude.
No way.
Oh my God, man, you just ruined it. I'm like 30 seconds behind.
Hmm.
Oh, my bad.
Oh, okay. I will say
at-
some things.
God,
Sorry.
He-
I really
crushed.
wasn't a fan. We're up 14-7. I believe it's still the first quarter. It might be the second quarter. It's the second quarter. It was like 4th and 3, and we went for it on like their 35, and we didn't get it. I didn't like that play call. That was bad. That was bad coaching that Connor got
well-
screwed by a little bit, I would say.
I like as a true freshman walking in the game, really for the first time, your like first actual game action. I'll just say
He looked
I'm
great.
like I'm more excited than that was way better performance than I would have expected out of him. Given the offensive line, we're playing 3 new O linemen. Our receivers are what they are, and he looked
Well,
decent.
dude. Muhammad
Stewart's
and
a freaking beast.
Evans are dudes.
Yeah.
They're
Muhammad's a
dudes.
beast. Evans is a beast.
If
We-
we can keep this freshman core,
We're gonna struggle with that, I'm afraid.
like if Jimbo does anything right this season, right? Because like none of us have been happy with what he's been doing. If he does anything right, it's maintaining the core freshmen, the Evan Stewart, the Moose Muhammad, the freaking I just went blank. My dude, quarterback,
Connor
Wigman.
Wigman.
Wigman. I wanted
That
to
was
say
a
Calzado,
bad
but,
look. That was a
like,
bad
Yeah.
look, Jonathan.
No,
That
I
was a
know.
bad look.
dude. It's like I got
Oh,
My
the-
concern is the
Yeah,
The
defense.
defense, who's the defense? The defensive tackle is good though. Shoot,
Shamar
what's his name?
Stewart.
Yeah,
I mean,
Shamar
our
Stewart
defensive
has,
line is a good defensive line. It's just a terrible scheme for what
It's
fits
terrible
the players.
scheme.
It's so bad.
we went. I don't understand though. Like we went to a 4 linemen. Like we put 4 linemen out there, and then
You should
we
never.
went back to 3 linemen. And,
You should
and
never
Ole
run a
Miss
3-4.
is
A 3-4 is
good
a
running
terrible
team.
defense. A 3-4
And
is a terrible
against
defense.
Alabama, the crazy part is the game plan against Alabama is 1,000 times different than it is against every other school. Like literally, even like our motions on offense against Alabama, we'll do like 40 to 30% of plays will have some sort of motion. Every other team, it's 5%. It's
Yeah.
10%. It's like, why are we changing things? We look good against Alabama, and then we change everything. Makes no sense. And we played 4 down against Alabama, and then every other game we're playing 3 down.
I don't want to say that.
DJ Durkin is a
I'm-
fraud.
Yeah,
I miss Elko so bad. That dude was a
Me too.
monster.
dude. Yes, and I mean, Duke's not a good football team, but
Oh,
they're
yeah, they
better
are.
than what they have.
I love
been.
Duke. I love
Yeah,
Duke.
and it's
Duke is a
First
good
year, they're
football
playing
team.
Pretty good.
They're not like
I mean, they're not
they're not
gonna.
contain. for
No,
ACC.
but they don't have the talent.
No, but they look good.
But they're
He
playing well
was
outside
just
their
a damn
talent.
good coach.
If
He's
He's
a
a
damn
damn
good
good
coach.
defensive coordinator.
if Texas A&M was playing at the level outside of the talent that Duke is playing at, we'd be a good football team.
Yeah, we're
We'd
not.
have 1 or 2 losses instead of what, 6, 5? I don't know
Five.
how many losses we have.
Five.
I think
We
we're
have
3 and 5.
We might not make a bowl game. That's for sure.
Yeah.
We have to win this. If we lose this week, we're not making a bowl game.
We have one
So
cupcake.
let's go.
right?
Let's go through that. Like,
Yeah, we have
All right,
UMass.
here we go.
UMass,
schedule.
Florida, Auburn,
Here we go. Through the
LSU,
schedule. This week, I forget who we play. We play somebody.
Florida.
Florida.
we win.
Hopefully, we win.
I
We're
think
favored.
If our offense,
We're favored.
put it this way: if our offense plays the way it played first quarter and fourth quarter,
Florida runs the
week-
ball really well.
no. But that's the thing. That's what I'm saying. We need to go back to the same strategy we had against Alabama.
not
Stack
gonna
the
happen.
freaking box.
Not gonna
Stop.
happen.
Also, the other
Don't
thing with
let
Ole Miss,
Anthony Richardson run all over us.
yeah, they
That's-
don't
dude.
play like a super high up tempo offense like Ole
Yeah.
Miss does either. Though That
Anthony
helps us.
Richardson cannot throw a football.
No, he cannot.
No, they
He
can
cannot.
beat you.
Also,
in the air.
our secondary is very good. They're very good.
Yeah, our secondary is good, and we're
Secondary is
missing
very
two of our
So,
guys.
I think we could play man across the board and just stack the box.
I agree.
We'd be fine. I still would like to have, like, don't just still mix it up. Run a mixture of like 2 high safety because they do have some deep threats on the outside.
But make Richardson,
Yeah, make
the
Richardson beat
ball.
you with his arm for sure. And
yeah,
good Lord, do not run past him. I hate
yeah,
watching. We're
yeah.
going to talk about this more later because I have a surprise for you guys when it comes to Micah Parsons later on. And
Uh-oh.
you cannot run past a mobile quarterback. I hate it. I
No.
hate defensive ends. You got to listen to my man, Gary Bertier, and you have got to play for the rest of your defensive line. And if we run past him, because we can rush the passer well. Oh, yeah, Little Caesars. Here we go. The official pizza of the NFL. But if you run past Anthony Richardson, he will run for 400 yards.
Yeah, and they love the ends love to do that where they take this big old looping
Yep.
run.
And that's
and they
not
run
how
10
you
yards
rush.
past them. And as soon as you do that, the quarterback is gone.
Correct.
Shot out of a cannon.
And the defensive ends love to say, well, I beat my guy. No, you didn't.
Yeah.
You lost your
You,
lane.
you did exactly what they
You
wanted
did-
you to do.
Exactly. Which is why it's the same thing. Like if you ever watch Kyler Murray, specifically this year, where Kyler Murray has been average at best. The games that he has been amazing are the games where the defensive ends just go right past him. He steps up to the
Yep.
side, buys some time, makes a good throw.
You're
But-
better off just like running straight at like a defensive tackle.
So
and
I
on a-
want
on
to
a straight
see.
line to the quarterback and put your hands up.
I want to see specifically if you're going to run only 3 down linemen, you can't do that at all. I want to see us
No,
4
heck
down
no.
linemen, and it's just a push. You just push
Yeah,
straight into
push.
him. You don't.
Yep.
I mean, you can beat a guy side to side. Like our defensive tackles are great at shucking their blocker, like a Chris Jones or an Aaron Donald kind of style. And then if you're going to get to him up the middle, heck yeah. If you're a defensive tackle and you can get there, there's nothing you
By
can
all
do as a
means.
quarterback. There's nothing you
Yeah.
can do. But if you're a defensive end and you're going to take a 10-yard loop against Anthony Richardson, he is going to look like the Heisman winner every play.
Yeah. He'll be shot out of a cannon.
so
Especially
yeah,
because
we got,
our linebackers are so bad. So
we got Florida this
Dude,
week.
if the coaching staff does not know that, there's a serious problem.
Durkin,
They don't.
I was
A
afraid
lot,
when we hired
but
Durkin because I don't
A
like
lot
Durkin. He
of
needs to
coaching
go.
staffs don't know that. A lot of coaching staffs, they're just like, hey, you're Nick Bosa or Micah Parsons or whatever, just go get the quarterback. And they don't teach them to contain quarterbacks. Which,
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
those dudes are monsters. I'm not criticizing
Agreed.
the best pass rushers in the game.
But Josh Allen
But-
does the same thing where as soon as they run past him, he's gone.
But
do it all
if
the
you
time.
if you remember when Myles Garrett first got to the NFL, teams figured out how to play against him because Myles Garrett was always going 100% to try to sack the quarterback, and they would run the ball inside of where they wouldn't even block him. They would just let him go, and then they'd run right by him. and it's a great
And you
strategy.
saw last night his whole thing has changed now where he'll fake going outside.
Yeah.
And he comes right back up the inside.
He has matured. Myles Garrett is one of my favorite players to watch rush the passer.
Yeah, he's
I
unbelievable.
know it's going to sound super biased to my people out there, but Myles Garrett and Von Miller, they're not the most athletically gifted anymore, but they are so smart the way they rush the passer. It's beautiful to watch. It's way
they're both
better than
unreal.
it's way better than like Joey Bosa, who just does the same thing, but he does it effectively. He does the same thing every time. Micah is kind of the same way. He's going to beat you pretty much with the same move most of the time.
Yeah.
Same with like a Matthew Judon. But
Vaughn can't do that no more. He's got to have about 30 moves.
Vaughn's ghost move it's when he does it right. I feel so bad for a humongous left tackle trying to block him. But to the question that we brought up earlier, pretty much our only chance, the A&M's only chances of winning are against Florida at home and against UMass. I don't really like Auburn. Dude, playing at Auburn we are historically bad there. That's my only thing.
No, that's not true because the first 8 years of us being in the SEC, the road team won every single game in that series.
Oh, okay. Well, then there we go. And LSU, I think their offense can score too much. That's what I don't like about.
I agree with LSU might murder us.
They're decent. So
that's why I say if we want to be bowl eligible, we have to win this week.
It's got to be done by UMass.
Because we have no chance. I mean, I'll give us a chance, but it's not looking pretty against LSU.
Maybe we'll get the invite if we only win 5 games, just like Texas.
We should turn it down. We shouldn't because we like the extra practice. No, but we like the extra practice days. That's the only reason I would say we take it. But
what you do is you do the extra practice days and then you fake COVID and then you don't play.
That's fine with me. That'd be fine with me.
That's what you do.
Because we're gonna go to the Bahama Bowl.
We won't even make the Bahama Bucks
gives a
Bowl.
shit?
This game will be on pay-per-view, terrible on a Tuesday at 1:00 in the afternoon.
Yep.
All right. Any other Aggies takes before we move on?
I can sum it all up by saying I think I have a bit of optimism in me for the future.
I will say I'm also a bit optimistic.
A quarterback
Wish me and Johnny would have thought by about week 3. Wish me and Johnny would have given.
I still agree with my take on that, but it just happened to work out this time.
I'm super excited. I mean, I hope it doesn't happen. But if Connor just looks pathetic this weekend, I can't wait for next week's podcast. Just
exactly.
What were we saying? I mean,
okay,
don't be results oriented.
My only take on this is because I was putting a child to sleep is if our offensive line next year is no better than it is this year, there's still no hope, right? That's
usually our strength, which is very weird that is why.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Bad. Same with our defensive
past 2
line.
years.
Yeah, it's not great. Hopefully we get that fixed. All right, let's move on. Y'all, the Big 12. It's crazy. It's a crazy world out there. So 2 weeks ago, Oklahoma State beats Texas. Then this week, they lose 48-0 to Kansas State. To Kansas State's backup quarterback.
Hey, one of my bets obviously was with Oklahoma State. I still think that was a good bet before the game. No one could have ever expected Oklahoma State to look
that was just That was just one of those games.
If you're Mike Gundy, do you just go into the locker room after the game and go, "Hey boys, let's just forget about that. This never happened."
Burn the tape and you move it on.
Burn the tape.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think they were all too excited for Halloween coming up. They were going to the
and
Halloween parties.
They played 3 straight kind of emotional games.
Yeah.
That were close, and then this was
rough.
the culmination of it all.
It was a bad day.
That happens in college every once in a while.
It does.
But
I mean, usually you don't score 0. Scoring 0.
Yeah, usually it's not 0.
Scoring 0 is bad.
You can throw out a dud every once in a while.
Jonathan can tell you that scoring 0 is bad.
It's bad.
Yeah.
It's really freaking bad.
So yeah, they lose 48-0. So if you're doing the transitive property, you would say that Oklahoma State is better than Texas. And then
no
Kansas
one knows
State
what transient property is.
Kansas State is better than Oklahoma State. And yet somehow Kansas State is a dog to Texas.
It's 7. Is it 7 points?
No, it's 2.5. But it's in Manhattan. It's in Manhattan where Texas
Dude, Kansas-
is historically bad in Manhattan, Kansas.
The only team that truly had a chance at beating TCU was Kansas State, and their quarterback got hurt. So
Yeah.
Well,
Nah,
TCU is still only playing backup quarterbacks.
TCU, it's possible.
not
it's
this
gonna drop
week.
again.
They didn't play back up this week.
Against
Have we
West
talked
Virginia.
about have we talked about where our rankings are or
No,
are
we haven't
not
got
to
there
that
yet.
segment
We're
yet?
getting there.
Okay.
I will say I have a feeling that TCU wins all their games and then loses to Texas, just like Texas used to do to Gary Patterson. And just
That
it
would-
says
That
That's
would
true.
piss
That's
me off
true.
so much.
I
That would
mean,
piss me off
I
so
have a
much.
feel. I mean, Texas is the wild card team in the Big 12 this year, in my opinion. They're not ranked, so when you lose to them, they don't look good. But like, they're
No,
not
they
a
are.
terrible.
They are.
They are now.
20,
Never mind.
21.
No, I mean, sorry, they're
They're ranked low.
they keep jumping in and out of the rankings. I apologize if I don't know if
Which
they're
is
in the
which
rankings
is
this week.
which is the Texas motto.
I thought,
is,
yeah, the AP poll has them at 24. That's what I thought.
So
Yeah.
whatever. I mean, but like, you know, they've won some games when they're not ranked, and then they get back ranked, and then they lose, and then they like
And they look good one week, and the
they
next
look good
they
one
look
week, and then
incompetent
Quinn
as they
Ewers goes 19 for 49 the next week, and it's just like, what's happening? So
and I picked Bijan to win the goddamn Heisman this
And
year
A lot of people did.
Why would you ever pick a running back? What are you?
because
doing?
I wanted to.
What are you
Because I wanted
doing?
someone besides a quarterback to
This
win.
is
the
not
goddamn
Bijan's.
Heisman.
This is also not Bijan's fault. When Bijan touches the ball,
No.
he's getting 7 yards. Every
That's
time
not
he
true.
touches
He's
the
a-
ball.
That is not true.
I feel like it. Every
No.
game I watch, I'm like, every time he touches the ball, he's running.
No, he doesn't. Almost every play, he gets about 2 yards, and then he breaks a
Does he?
60-yard run, and his average is 7 yards. That's what happens. But
I've
what-
watched a
now,
couple games. I feel
those
like he's a
2
beast.
yards,
It's gonna be
he
a
got
tough 2 yards.
for those 2 yards, he got hit 5 yards back in the backfield, and then he breaks a second tackle at 3 yards in the backfield, and then gets tackled 2. So it looks like 7, but he really only got 2. And then
He's
he
got to
runs for
lead the.
60
He's
yards
got
for a
to
touchdown.
lead the nation in broken tackles. He's got to
He
be. up
does.
But
He does. I mean, he's a
It's-
great running
it's-
back. He's a great running back.
It's Pat Mahomes in the Super Bowl, or what was that, the AFC Championship, where he
But,
ran for
hey,
5 million yards.
He ain't no Reggie Bush. He ain't no Barry Sanders.
Nah.
That's for sure. And those are Heisman winning running
No,
backs right there.
Give Reggie Bush his Heisman back. Give Reggie his Heisman back and be done with it.
This week though, okay, so the Big 12 is still crazy. Kansas State somehow a dog at home to Texas. We have a huge week of football ahead, and
Yeah,
college
I'm
football.
excited for Saturday.
it's a big week.
I'm fired
Saturday's
up.
gonna be fun.
We got the best game of all time with Tennessee in Athens for hopefully
That's gonna be a
good
big
game.
one.
Let's
The
go
big-
Hooker.
What is that? Is that the 6:30
Game of the
slot or
century.
whatever?
No, it's
Yeah.
2:30 or 3:30.
2:30. No,
3:30.
I hate
I'm
that.
scared-
I want that to
no,
be
it's
the-
2:30. Well, it's 2:30
That's
p.m.
about to be
Central.
done, Shane. Shane, that's about
I
to be
want it-
done because CBS is getting the third best like Big Ten game in 2
Yeah.
years.
And
Yeah,
then
but I want that game to be that should be a night game. That should be
That
the
should
final
be
No,
a
no,
game
no,
of
no.
the evening.
100% should be a
I
night.
love the best game of the week being in the middle of the afternoon.
2:30. I do
No,
too.
I-
I actually don't
I
mind
hate
it.
You should
it.
Just
have a
like-
buzz on by then.
Just like NFL Sunday, I want the best game to be at 3:30 p.m.
I agree. Then the last game, you can just kind of sit around, drink a couple beers, and if you kind of doze off a little bit, all
Yeah.
good.
No,
You already made it
I,
to the
I
game.
like.
If House of the Dragon is
enjoy-
on and then
dozing
Sunday Night
off
Football
for
is
a-
terrible, turn it off.
Evening game. It's not the Pac-12.
Johnny, hey, we're built different. I want to have a
Built
good
different, baby.
buzz. I want a good buzz by the good game of the evening. I want to get a little drunk by the second half and scream
You know
at
why,
the TV.
Shane?
That's
Dude,
what I
hey,
want.
You know
no,
why,
that's on
Shane?
you. If you
You know
can't get
why?
a good buzz by 2:30,
Because it
that's
means
on
more.
you. Bud.
What are you
It
even doing?
means
Maybe
more,
we're built
Shane.
different.
Yeah.
Here it means more.
If you
Yeah,
can't
it
get
means
buzzed
more.
by 2:30 and drunk by 4:30, that's on you, Shane. I'm sorry.
Hey, I drink Colorado Kool-Aid. That's an all-day
Also-
drinker, baby.
Also, I like the 2:30 slot because the 2:30 slot is usually that one big game, and there's not a whole lot competing with it.
Yeah, the noon
Night,
games
you
are always,
have-
oh.
The night you literally have like 4 or 5 games a lot of times that are decent.
So Blake's just complaining because he's on the East Coast. So a night game gets real late at times.
Yeah.
Yeah, like all these games starting at Monday Night Football being at 8:30 at night. That sucker's done like almost at midnight.
Yeah, but could you imagine being the opposite, being California,
Oh my
and
gosh.
getting
it's
off
terrible.
work and like the game's already on? That would
Yeah,
I
suck.
mean,
If I lived in California, I would literally tell those schools like I have to work from 4:30 in the morning to like 2:30 so I can get home to watch a football game.
yeah, it's a rough life for the Californians out there, but most
You
of them
sleep
don't like
through
football.
college
So.
football. You
And
sleep through college football.
I will say this year and years previously, when it comes to the NFL, most primetime games kind of suck. So it's
They
not
all
that big
do.
a deal for the East
This-
Coast.
This year, prime time, it's not even worth tuning in. I mean, geez.
Hey, I love it. The Bengals last night were just like the Raiders, where it's like everyone's like the Bengals are back, and then it's like, well,
Turned
they
it
lost
off.
to the Browns by a lot. So
Turn the game off.
everyone can also stop saying that Joe Burrow is better than Josh Allen and Patrick Mahomes.
Joe
You can-
Burrow almost
stop
lost
with
me
the
my fantasy
blasphemy.
matchup last night. I won by half a point
Nice.
because of Joe
I-
Burrow's ineptitude.
I honestly would rather watch some action than
2 picks or 3
Thursday
picks?
night,
How many picks did he throw last night?
Monday
It might
night,
have been 3.
3.
He also got sacked at an all-time high in the first quarter.
I mean, that's
Because Joe Burrow's my fantasy quarterback. Also, not a good look.
Last
I
week
mean,
he put up
had a lot of
40.
points.
Yeah.
He put up 40
points
last week. This week he puts up 8.
that's
But
life,
that's the
man.
problem with Joe Burrow and that offensive line. It's either hit
I was
or miss.
winning-
They,
I was
Dude,
winning
no,
by
it's not
12
the
points.
offensive. It's not all the offensive line. I'm sorry. Joe Burrow is getting his offensive line murdered a lot of the time, and more importantly, Zach Taylor is. Joe Mixon
Hey.
is an incredible running back. Run the ball
Also,
sometimes.
Jamar
can we
Chase might
also-
be important.
I mean,
yeah.
Jamar
yes.
Chase is probably
yes. Can we also talk about? I do love this from Joe Burrow because every interview you see, he talks about how, I will hit someone. This is football, but throws interception. Sees Myles Garrett coming for his
Oh,
head. He
yeah.
says, "I'm out."
Business
Run away.
decision, Shane. That
That's
was
smart.
a
He
decision.
kind of started running towards him, then he saw Myles Garrett, and then he started running
He
backwards.
said,
All right, wait.
That was a
Can we-
business decision.
I think we just cracked the code. So, Joe Burrow, nobody in college, goes to Ohio State, can't cut it, transfers to LSU, has Jamar Chase, is a stud,
Yep.
goes to the NFL before Jamar Chase. Terrible.
Yeah.
Jamar Chase comes to the NFL. Joe
Stud.
Burrow, stud.
Jamar Chase. is hurt.
Last night without Jamar Chase, Joe Burrow sucks.
Terrible.
Joe Burrow's not good. It's Jamar Chase.
Jamar
It was the
Chase
Johnny-
is a baller.
It was the Johnny Manziel, Mike
Johnny
Evans.
Manziel, Mike
argument.
Evans corollary is what it is. That's
Yeah.
what it is. We cracked the code. This is why you tune in to the Football is King podcast. You don't hear this anywhere else.
Nope.
Imagine
no one
Stephen
has
A
said-
making that connection. Stephen
Yeah.
A ain't making that connection.
No way. Stephen A's just saying blasphemous and then just going on.
Stephen A's just saying, "Stay off the weed."
So we got way off topic from where this started. This is the efficient podcast, so I'm pulling us back. The other big games in college football this weekend are Alabama plays LSU in
That's a big
Death
one.
Valley.
I still think Alabama wins by 20.
They're 13 and a half point favorites. And if I could, I would take LSU plus 13.
I would take
I
LSU too.
I would.
Texas and Kansas State is a top 25, but I don't see that being a big deal. Wake Forest, NC State is our other top 25. Mainly,
Also not a
we
big deal.
got Tennessee, Georgia, which is big for the East. And Alabama, LSU is big for the West. So basically, the SEC is the most important conference in football when it comes to college. So the two biggest games for the West and the East being in the same weekend is a big weekend in football.
Big.
And that brings us to the moment that you've all been waiting for. We previewed it last weekend. Today, the first college football playoff rankings came out. Currently, as host of the show, I am the only person that knows the top 6. We are going to go through those top 6 in just a second. All right, welcome. I know it was like half a second for you guys because we could press pause, but we got more to drink. We're ready to go. College football playoffs rankings are out. We're gonna go 6-1. I'm the only person that knows. We're getting live, raw reactions from the boys here. Number 6 was a shocker right away for me. Nick
Should we-
Saban in Alabama.
Huh?
Yeah.
Nick Saban in Alabama are number 6.
6?
6.
That's horseshit.
7-1, 6-1, 1 loss.
Are
Alabama,
they just
number 6.
wanting? Are they just wanting to seem fair, so they'll just let them in at the very end, or?
Yeah, that's what.
Well,
Some
I
may
do
say.
believe all the teams in front of them are undefeated.
It depends.
So,
It depends who's in front of them too. Let's see who's in
I
front
don't
of
know
them.
who's in
Yeah.
front of them, but
I
like,
do.
my
and
thought is
there's
they're
one
gonna get
team I
in.
don't.
If they
Hold
don't
on.
lose, they're going to
There's
get
one. Hold on. There's one team I can't remember. I think it's number 5. I can't remember if they're undefeated. Yes, the 5 teams in front of them are all undefeated. So it makes sense that they're number 6.
in. Okay.
It's just
Okay,
It's-
but
it's
no,
just
It
been a
doesn't,
long
though.
time since
Doesn't
I've seen
make sense.
Alabama with an next to a 6 next to their name. So
but number one of them, I can guarantee you, is a terrible football team. And go ahead.
yeah, well, yeah.
Yeah,
here
go
we
ahead. Just run through it real quick.
Here we
Let's
go.
react
No,
afterwards.
okay. Number 5. So currently missing the playoff as well with Alabama is Michigan. They're 8.
Terrible.
Horseshit. Horseshit.
Terrible.
No,
They're bad.
horseshit.
They're bad, but hey,
No.
I love watching them run their old school offense. Though it is kind of fun. It's
They're
refreshing.
they're my number 2. They're my number 2 team in the country.
Number 2?
Oh, Shane.
Yeah.
No.
I love
number 1 and
Michigan.
number
I
2 are
love 'em.
playing this weekend.
Yeah.
I
Number
got
1 and
number
2
3.
plays- Number 1 and
I got
2
him at
play
number
this week.
3.
No.
Actually, I got him at 4. I got him at 4.
Yeah, Ohio State's better than Michigan. Fuck
No,
off.
Let's just,
no,
hey, let's just give
Hey,
our let's give our
no.
let's give our rankings. Let's give our rankings right now.
We're gonna find out. Ohio State's gonna kick Michigan's butt. Let's just go over that.
No,
All right.
no,
You
Here we
guys
go.
don't want to know my rankings.
no.
Okay.
Give our rankings. I like Blake. Give our rankings.
All right. Get Shane. Run me
I'll-
through your top 4.
I got the Vols at number 1, Michigan number 2, Georgia number 3, Ohio.
Georgia
State
is at
number
3?
4.
You have Georgia behind Michigan? That's
Who
blasphemy.
is
Yes.
your number
That's
4?
blasphemous.
They are the
Yes.
undefeated national champions. That
I
is
don't
terrible.
give a fuck about last year. Give me
Who's your
Michigan.
number 4?
Give me
Ohio State, I
Ohio-
think he said.
Yeah.
Which is
All
fine.
right, I'll take Tennessee, Georgia, Ohio State, Michigan. Then you can go TCU, Clemson.
Can we imagine if there's
Oh,
only 2
no.
conference?
Hold
Can
on,
you
you want
imagine?
You want my
out of the
5
top
and 6? You want my 5 and 6? I got Alabama. And who gives a fuck about the rest of them?
Can you imagine if the college football playoff committee only included the Big Ten and the SEC, like Shane and Blake are saying? There's
No,
only
but I
2
know it's
conferences.
Howard this
but
up right here.
purely
I'll
purely
Desmond
on
Howard
resume
this right here.
alone.
Ready? Tennessee, Georgia, Ohio State.
In Michigan.
I'm gonna say TCU or some crap.
Yeah, he is.
Hey
He's
man,
gonna say
TCU keeps
TCU.
winning. Put them in. Big 12 championship undefeated. That's hard to
Alabama.
argue.
Oh, okay.
I mean, Alabama.
Alabama's 4th.
They're probably the 4th best team in the
And
country.
then I would put
Yeah, they are.
Michigan, and then I'd put TCU at 6.
So what it looks like from here, our problem is going to be what happens if Clemson and TCU go undefeated and win their conference championships.
I
That's
You leave
what's
them
gonna be-
out.
Notre
You
Dame
leave
beats
them out.
Clemson this week.
I'm just saying
TCU
that's where
TCU
you're going to
won't
have a
make it.
problem.
No,
TCU will
we're
not
gonna
make
have
it.
a bigger issue. Now play this out. Imagine, if you will, Georgia beats Tennessee this week. Georgia, Alabama play in the SEC finals. Georgia loses to Alabama. Then TCU goes undefeated, wins the Big 12. Clemson goes and wins the ACC. Michigan beats Ohio State, but then Ohio
Wins the Big
State
Ten.
ends up winning we could have.
No,
chaos.
No,
Ohio
Michigan has
Ohio
beat Ohio
State
State.
won't be in the
Michigan-
Big Ten game
Yeah, they'll be out of it.
because they're on the same
Well,
side.
if Michigan drops another game, if
They
Michigan
won't.
drops a game,
Ohio
Yeah,
State.
They would have to lose
Michigan-
twice. They would have to lose
I just
twice.
said imagine, if you will.
No,
Play
but
along.
Hey,
no,
Michigan
but
would already
wait,
be dead
if that scenario plays out, you have 3 SEC teams in the
No,
freaking playoff.
Blake-
you have
Blake
to.
is
You have
right.
to.
Even
As-
if
as
Michigan,
I
even
think
if
you should.
Michigan lost to another team that's not Ohio State,
Michigan
Michigan
has to
would
lose
have
their
to
next
lose
2 games.
twice because Ohio State, or they have the tiebreaker over Ohio State. So Ohio State, if they lose to Michigan, is out. They're done.
Yeah. That's a playing game. Michigan Ohio State is a straight up playing game.
100%.
Whoever wins that game is in the playoff.
Unless
As long as they don't do something crazy in the Big Ten
They-
championship.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
unless they get-
who's the
which they
fourth team?
won't,
Who's
'cause
the
the
fourth
other
team?
s-
Is my question.
Well, let's go over it. Here we go. Coming in at number 4 at 8-0 from the ACC with a quarterback that just got benched. The
Shit.
Clemson Tigers.
Clemson
Clemson's
sucks.
terrible.
They're
They are the
With
biggest frauds in college football.
DJ Alungalungalungalungalay.
Cade
And Clay
Klubnik.
Cummings.
Them and TCU are tied for the biggest frauds in college football right now.
No,
No,
that's
it's
just that's the Dabo
conference you
effect.
play in.
It's the Dabo effect.
The
Also.
difference- yes,
Conference you
that's my
play in
problem.
matters.
Exactly,
They
the
love
frauds.
Matter.
They're frauds.
They love seeing Dabo run down that stupid fucking grass turf thing, and they love it. I hate it.
Oh.
I
And they
hate
love
Hey.
seeing Dabo go like he could pull a Russell Wilson in the middle of the field
Yeah.
like this with all the cameras, got his hands out, making sure everyone
Yeah.
sees him.
Hey,
It's
Shane
Dabo
brought it
all
up.
about the conference you play in.
Dabo could go to a press conference on a freaking flight to the West Coast and say, "My whole team slept and I was doing high knees in
High
the
knees.
freaking goddamn
Hey,
alleyway,
hey.
whatever the hell you call it," and they would love it.
Quit
They're the
getting
same
ahead of
person.
us. Quit getting ahead of us.
All right, anyways.
The
continue,
high knees
Austin.
are on the future, but hold on. Shane brought it up. The turf monster has made it to the high school level. Vista Ridge High School, 3 torn ACLs this week on turf.
Oh,
Dang.
shoot.
We got to get rid of the turf, man. It's bad. It's bad.
Yeah,
All
go to
right.
grass.
Get rid of the turf.
Remember when
Get
we were
rid
in
of
high school
Dabo and get rid
everybody
of the
wanted turf? Turf was
Remember,
like
no, no.
remember Bible Stadium, that crappy
Yes.
turf that you
The
get so hyped to
AstroTurf.
play on?
Yeah, you
Turf-
get shit everywhere. You had the
Turf-
black dots all over you.
Turf is
No,
fine.
The Bible
No,
Field, Bible Stadium was
AstroTurf.
like freaking
AstroTurf.
carpet. It was
Hey.
carpet.
Yeah.
Yeah,
wanna-
it was Astro.
You want to
We
feel the
wanted to
pain.
wear the things on our arms so we looked like booby.
And you'd wear
And,
regular
hey.
tennis shoes.
You want to
Yeah.
feel the pain. I played soccer on that turf.
Oh yeah, no.
Slide
That ball must have
tackling.
just been like,
That and my legs were just, I had no skin on my legs anymore because from sliding is just, you're done. All right.
why would they ever even have that stuff? That stuff was terrible.
That was a playoff game, by the way. We got the right because of a playoff game. We had to play it on neutral field at Bible Stadium. It was terrible. Number 3. Undefeated from the SEC. Former national champion, the Georgia Bulldogs, come in at 3.
I
as the
disagree
national-
strongly.
The undefeated national champions with the same quarterback
Strongly.
are number 3. Blew my mind when I saw it. I about lost
That's
it. I about lost it.
that's the only reason I disagree with that is that team is very similar. They have the same quarterback, which is the most important position in college football, which maybe the NFL also.
They have the best
And-
tight end that college football's ever seen.
Yep.
Yeah,
The thing that's getting them is that game against Missouri, which they ended
Who
up winning.
cares? Who cares? They won.
But
Every
you-
team,
That's what I'm saying.
every
They
team that's
won
won a
the game.
national
the
championship
game.
had a bad game.
I was gonna say
that's-
Alabama. How many games have they shit on and then gone on to win a national title? I mean,
Yeah,
a
I don't
bunch.
care. I don't care if you win every
Huh?
game by 1. If you win every game, you win every game.
Well, if you're gonna say that, that's the Clemson argument. So they
Yeah,
kind
but
of
Clemson doesn't play anyone.
Well, but yes, Georgia, I mean, has already played Kentucky, correct?
Yes.
Yes.
They beat Kentucky.
Yep.
They already played Florida,
They beat
which
Florida.
Florida's not good, but that's the other big team out of the East besides Tennessee.
They beat Oregon by 50.
That was
Yeah.
week 1, and
They're-
Oregon looks great.
Oh,
Oregon
yes!
looks incredible.
Yep.
So everyone,
in Oregon,
but I mean, Oregon looks good. So they beat a
What-
good team.
I
by
can't
so
wait
many
for
points.
Oregon to go undefeated, and they're gonna start calling for them to be in the playoff, and I'm gonna be so
Yep.
freaking pissed.
No,
Yeah.
no.
I'm gonna be
I mean,
pissed.
What did
Hey,
what
if
did
you ask
what did
Bo
Oregon
Nix,
get?
if they played
Oregon was
today, it's a
8.
different game.
I've seen Bo Nix
No.
play enough football. Bo Nix doesn't have it.
No, Johnny, you're
I would take him as our
buffoon.
quarterback, though. I
No,
would
I'm
take
saying he got quoted today in an interview saying if they played Georgia today, it would be a different game.
Yeah,
It would
they
be a
might
different
lose by-
game.
It would be.
They might lose by 14 instead of by 35.
Yeah, yeah.
Fact.
I mean,
But
okay, but they're
he
still
also
getting
did-
blown out.
by stats, Bo Nix is having a better season than Marcus Mariota's Heisman year.
Johnny, stats. If okay, never mind.
Stats matter, dude. Stats
If
matter.
if
Stats
if
matter.
ifs were fit, if ifs were fists, we'd all be drunk, bitch.
No,
That's all I got to say.
Stats matter, dude.
Stats matter, but can be skewed. It depends on what the year, what it looks like.
For sure,
How
the
good-
offense
like,
is different. The
like
defense
how
is
good-
Playing, your analytics love Jonathan right now. Stats matter. No, they don't.
No, what?
freaking
When was
matter.
Mariota? What year was Mariota? 2010?
2010, 11. I think it was
How
11
good
2011 was
was
his big
how
year.
good was the Pac-12 in 2010 or
That-
11 is the question.
That was the year they played for the national title against
Yeah,
Auburn, I'm pretty sure.
No. I'm
2011.
not saying how good was Oregon. How good was the level of competition that
Probably
Mariota played
terrible.
against?
Better than it
2011.
is today. Better than it is today.
So that's what I'm saying.
Probably.
Like, so it's like Bo Nix, whatever.
USC.
Plus,
USC was
Hey,
still good in
Oregon
2011.
has
They were okay. I think.
hey, Bo Nix hasn't played those Beavers up in Corvallis yet. So I mean,
And
you
they
gotta
are
pay, you
ranked for
watch
the
out,
first time ever.
dude. I love me some Beavs. All right,
If
where were we? Did
ifs
we do
were
number
fists,
three?
We'd all be
Number
drunk.
three.
Yeah, we did go to number 2.
Number
Stats
two.
matter, Shane.
Number 2, undefeated from Ohio, Oklahoma, or Ohio State. It's Ohio State. I mean, that's fair enough. That's fair enough.
He
I'm
said
okay
three
with
different
it.
things
I'm
there. He
okay
said
I know.
I'm okay with it.
Oklahoma, Ohio,
I know.
Ohio State.
He was trying to
I-
build it up.
No, I wrote down OSU, and in my brain, growing up
Oh,
in the
God.
South, Big 12, Oklahoma State, and then I was like, wait, they lost 48-0. Can't be them. Ohio State, it is.
I was really hoping that the committee was going to go full troll mode and put
Hey.
Ohio State number 1.
Penguins take the lead. Let's go. Suck it, Brad Marchand. But yeah, I mean, I don't have any problem with Ohio State being 2, except for I don't like them being ranked above Georgia. Georgia's a better team than Ohio State.
Agreed.
So obviously that means Tennessee's won.
So Tennessee is
Yes.
1. Which
I'm
makes
perfectly
this
okay
weekend
with that.
wild.
I'm perfectly okay with that.
We
No.
all
Okay.
said Tennessee won.
No, but
Okay,
they
wait.
should have put Georgia number 2 because it solves itself this week anyways. Just put them number
They
2.
shouldn't.
Yes,
They should-
yes,
no,
yes.
Georgia
I
should
agree
be
with
1.
that.
Georgia should be 1.
I'm okay with Tennessee being number 1 actually because of the schedule they played. They
Doesn't
played a
matter to me.
ridiculous schedule.
Georgia is the reigning national championship. Got the same freaking quarterback. Has not lost a game. What?
Oh, I completely agree.
I'm not a fan of you losing your rank if you win the football game. We already went over that. If you win the football game, you should still be where you were.
I do agree with that, but Tennessee has looked great. My
They beat
one
6 ranked
problem
teams, I
is-
think.
They have
But-
been 6 ranked
yes, they
teams, but
have.
how many of those teams
Yes.
are still ranked?
But Austin, in that
They beat
logic,
LSU and Alabama already.
That's true. Those are good.
LSU and Alabama.
but in that logic, Alabama would be a top 4 team.
Yes, yes.
Why?
But they lost.
After
lost.
they got beat by Tennessee, they
They,
were
they got beat by the number 1 team in the nation.
literally by the logic of if you win the game, you keep your rank. They were number 4 after they got beat by Tennessee, and now they've dropped to 6.
Okay, so I
Okay.
just don't believe that they should have been number 4 after they lost to Tennessee.
Blake, Austin,
what I
I
would
got
say.
one question for you. I got one.
That was just a bad ranking.
If Tennessee loses to Georgia this weekend, where does Tennessee fall to? Because they
Then
should
how-
still be in the top
What
4.
does it? What
They should
no?
still
What
be
does
in
the
the
loss
top
look
4.
like? What does the loss look like? Is that's where it's always going to be.
Okay, if it's less than a double-digit loss, they should be in the top 4.
I mean, this is a sneak ahead to our gambling at the end. Tennessee is the number 1 team in the country. They are 8.5-point dogs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which means Vegas thinks even on a neutral field, it's like 5.5.
So
Yeah.
like,
It's like 3 points. So Vegas thinks Georgia's number 1 team in the country.
Yeah. Yeah.
now Tennessee has something going for them, and that is that their offense looks unbeatable. But
They have a Heisman winner.
a
He's
Georgia
coming.
defense is a really hard like if Georgia's defense balls out and shuts down Tennessee's defense isn't that great. They're not very
Oh, yeah,
good.
they'll score
No,
on them. They'll
They're
score
not
on them.
very good.
like, so if Georgia's defense plays like Georgia's defense has played in recent years, and Tennessee can't score 30 points, it could get ugly. It's possible.
Yeah.
I'm not saying
Oh yeah.
I do not think
Tennessee
it will.
wants a shootout. They want
No.
a shootout.
Tennessee has
Tennessee
to have a
has-
shootout.
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
have to have a
Tennessee has
shootout.
played all year like a Big 12 team. I will score more points than you. That's fine. You can score on me, but I'm going to score more than you. And it's worked. It's worked.
Because
up
they
to
have
this point.
Hendon
And
Yeah,
Jalen
course.
Hyatt.
and
And
Hyatt. Yeah, that kid's
I
pretty.
think what the committee looks at is I've got two conspiracy theories on this. Number one, everybody loves offense. So right, Tennessee's got the best offense, so they're like, hey, let's put them in number one. Number two is the team with the second best offense in Ohio State. Ohio State's offense is also very fun to watch. I could watch
Good.
Marvin Harrison Jr. play wide receiver all day, just like I could watch his dad play wide receiver all day. They're
Yes.
amazing at what they do.
If you're an NFL team, stay far away from freaking CJ Stroud because that dude has the best receivers for the past
Well,
2 years. He's had the
I
best
mean,
receivers
That's
by far
Ohio
in college
State
football.
No,
every year.
I mean, that's
His
just
receivers run wide, freaking
dude,
open.
it's Bryce
Yep,
Young,
that's
it's
true.
Mac Jones, it's
It is
Tua.
100%. 100%. Although Tua does have the best QBR in the league, I think, right now.
Yeah,
I
just
will.
like-
Because
I
he's
know
got the
Austin
two best
hates
wide
Miami,
receivers.
but they're not that bad.
They are that bad.
Hey.
They're that bad.
Undefeated
not
when
that
Tua
bad.
plays a full game.
What was the score against Detroit this weekend? I know that they won. What was the score?
Well, they spotted him. They spotted him 17 points though.
Oh, they spotted. How did they spot him 17 points? They
They let
didn't
him get
score,
17
and
first.
Detroit scored.
Anyways, back to college.
All right. Yeah. It'll be a good game this weekend.
It'll
I
be a
don't-
great game. I'm super pumped for it.
I don't think that Tennessee is the best team in the country. I think they're a very fun team to watch.
But I think you can say they're not the best team potentially, but they beat the best teams that like Alabama's wins, Ohio State's wins, Georgia's wins. Tennessee has more good wins than them.
Yes.
Oh,
yeah.
100
yeah.
hands down.
Ala-
Hands down.
Alabama hasn't really played anybody yet.
Let me.
Exactly.
They played Tennessee. No, I'm saying they should definitely be ahead. But like, if Alabama loses to LSU this week,
They're not going to.
then Tennessee's win against Alabama looks significantly less impressive because
Agreed.
Alabama's two losses are against the only two ranked teams that they played.
Yeah.
Here's
I-
my
I will.
Anyway.
I got a problem.
But it makes LSU win look better. So I mean,
Yes,
it's
yeah.
But it's all
And they
hey,
murdered LSU.
that
they murdered
that transitive property out there. You gotta watch
Here-
out, man. That A
here's
equals B,
my-
B equals C.
My problem with the
dangerous.
committee is this. After the rankings came out, I tuned in, and the chairman comes on, and what's his name asked about TCU, and he said, "Does the strength of schedule because TCU plays crap teams, does it matter?" And he said, "We don't look at the conferences; we just look at the teams." I think that is utter horse shit.
And then he
because-
said they're penalizing TCU because they're playing from behind.
"Yes, yes."
What has Clemson
So
been
you're
doing?
looking-
I mean,
Yeah.
TCU this weekend will play next weekend will play their 5th ranked team.
Yeah, they play good teams.
I mean, they've played
Okay, so,
Oklahoma,
but
they
if
played
you're
Kansas,
taking that-
Oklahoma State, Kansas
If
State.
you're
like,
taking
all those
that
teams
into
were
account,
ranked.
Austin, if you're taking that into account, they should be ranked higher than they are.
I think that they should. I think that if we're gonna,
where
if-
they
I-
should-
I think for the initial ranking, I know that this is criminal to say, especially with what I said earlier. I think that Alabama is definitely probably one of the 4 best teams in the country. But if you're gonna go
Austin,
on
I
your-
agree.
if you're going to go on the initial ranking, your top 6 should be your 6 teams that are undefeated.
I'm on board with my problem is they put Clemson at number 3 or
No,
whatever.
4.
Clemson, at number
Clemson should
4.
not be 4 for sure.
So Clemson is
No.
number 4. They're penalizing
good.
TCU for playing from behind. They have the same record. TCU's played a better schedule and they've won every game.
no,
And
that's
Clemson
Dabo.
played from behind
It's,
too.
it's the same
Clemson-
thing.
Clemson
Was
can't
it-
even keep the quarterback on the field. He's terrible.
Was it last year?
They
or 2 years
love
ago
Dabo
when
Sweeney.
no, I mean, it's all about pedigree from previous years, which is why I'm shocked that
Yep.
Georgia's not
Yep.
number 1 because it's the year that A&M didn't get in, and there's all the blah blah blah. Well, Notre Dame always has been successful in the past, and then they lost by 42 points, which
It's
is
the
more
They've
than
story.
never been successful.
yeah. And it's just like so. Clemson is in
Tennessee is
because
the story.
Clemson is in because of their name, 100%.
It's
Like,
going to
they
be
got
so
Dabo.
annoying when Clemson is in. It's going to be so annoying to watch them because they're going to be
Like-
terrible. They're going to get beat by 60.
I don't think Clemson's going to make it. I think Clemson will drop a game. They're going to drop
I hope
Florida,
so.
Florida
Hey,
State. I don't know.
They
Someone's
lose
gonna
this
beat them.
weekend. They were going to
Austin,
lose this weekend.
Austin,
Notre
if
Dame
they-
is
I hope
going
so.
to knock them off.
I hope so.
If they do
I
win
hope
this
so.
weekend, if they do win this weekend, and Tennessee remains at number 1, they will absolutely get freaking murdered by
Murdered.
Tennessee. Tennessee will freaking murder them.
That might they'll
Oh, yeah.
pull DJ Uiagalelei after the first 2
That's
drives
possible,
of the game.
but also Clemson's defense.
I don't
is
think
pretty
he would
good.
start that game. I think Cade would end up starting that game.
Clemson's defense is pretty good. I will give them that. They got a good
Well, the
defense.
I don't.
The Cade hype
I
kind
don't
of got
care if their
disrupted.
defense is
He
good.
didn't play that great.
Played good at the first game.
He played okay. He played
I
okay, but
think
he
it
didn't.
may just be the issue of their offense isn't that good all around.
Agreed.
Man, I don't know if anyone
Also-
else checked the
Their defense, they do have a good defense, but
And they're
Clemson
playing
does
with
have a
They're
good
playing
defense.
with a small white running back. Can't do that.
Some of us.
All right,
Can't do
hey,
that.
we
Some of
don't,
us-
we don't need to bring
Not
racism.
related to Shipley. Not related
Hey,
to Shipley. I
hey.
Googled it. He's not related to the UT Shipley.
No.
Who do they
you
think they
didn't
are?
have
Who does
to-
he think he is? Rex Burkhead? I mean, come on.
You didn't have to Google it. Me and Austin looked at his picture on the TV and said, "This is not the same family. That's a goofy. That guy looks like he's got."
Yeah.
Oh,
Never
yeah,
mind.
that's right. We were all together
Yeah,
when I
we were all
Googled it.
together.
Because I was like, I think that's the younger brother of Jordan Shipley. No,
No.
not. But his older brother plays football at what did I say? Let's just make up
I don't know.
Purdue. I don't know.
But
All
He
right,
plays somewhere.
if
here we
that-
go. Our top 4 this weekend. Number 1 and number 3 play each other. So one of them is probably going to drop out of the top 4.
Just crap.
I
Ohio
don't
State.
think they do.
Now, no, they might drop out of the top 4 for the next ranking, but
Ohio
they'll
State and Michigan still have to play eventually too, so it's all
they'll
gonna
be
solve
they'll
itself.
be there at the end. I think that the loser probably drops to 5
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
the other teams will stay undefeated probably.
5. Yeah, I can see
But
that.
I'm not saying that that's the end of the year. I think that also, sorry, I said I had 2 conspiracy theories. Other conspiracy theory is the committee loves Georgia, and so they put them at number 3 to get them some bulletin board material before this weekend.
I was thinking Josh Heupel was like, "Why are y'all doing this?" to
Yeah,
us?"
yeah. It's the classic Nick Saban being like, "Gosh dang it, the media's killing my players."
Yeah,
The
rat
rat poison.
Rat
Yeah.
poison.
Rat
Rat poison.
All right, number 2, Ohio State plays at Northwestern. They might
They will
win
win
by
by 90.
135 points.
Northwestern might be the worst football team that's ever played in college
They
football.
might be. And number 4,
Was it?
Clemson plays
was
at
it-
Notre Dame, which go
Northwestern
Irish.
hasn't won a game in the United States this year.
Hey, is Northwestern? Is that the same school that was in the playoff like the first year or the first?
No,
two
they were in
years
the
of
Big 12. They
playoff?
were in the Big 10. They were in the Big 10 championship game and against
They got
Ohio State
smacked.
one year, and they got smacked. I'm pretty sure.
No, it was a close
Okay.
game. It was a close game, I actually think.
Was
but
it?
they just played the ugliest football you've ever seen. They just like mucked it up. They played like the New York Giants this year. Man,
Yeah,
what a great transition. Let's talk about the NFL, everybody. It's November 1st, trade deadline day, and the world lost its mind. And we'll talk about that more later. But before we talk about that, let's talk about what happened on Sunday. Did we have the best NFL football game of all time in the Panthers
Atlanta?
versus the
Who dat?
Atlanta Falcons? No,
Derby
no,
City,
no, no, no.
baby.
Okay, so
NFC.
before we talk about how terrible the NFC South is, but what a great game.
Hey,
Um,
whoa.
PJ Washington just flicking 60 yards bombs.
Well, his name
That
is
was
PJ
unbelievable.
Walker, but yes.
Walker, whatever his name is.
Can we
XFL hero.
Yeah, can we I had a question for this game. Was the Panthers Falcons game a historically bad beat when it came to betting purposes?
As a
Thank
person
you.
that bet on the Falcons, I
So,
was pretty ticked.
I
after that Hail Mary.
believe it closed
2
at
minutes.
Falcons. I believe it closed at
2.5.
Falcons -4.
Oh, I had it at 2.5.
Oh, well, shoot. Even,
I think
okay.
I lied. I think I lied bet it though. I think I lied bet
Oh,
it.
I believe that it closed at Falcons -4 because that's what I took it as. And Artie Smith proved he's my favorite coach of all time. Arthur Smith, genius. They're up 3. late in the fourth quarter, they kick a field goal to go up 6. Genius. Covers the
Yeah.
spread. There's like less than a minute left. Carolina's got no timeouts. They're covering the spread. I'm like, this is amazing. Life is good. I don't know why, but they decide, hey, it's okay if we give up a 60-yard touchdown to DJ Moore. And they do.
I think they thought he couldn't throw it that far.
And he does. And DJ Moore commits
It's
the
a
cardinal sin.
beautiful throw.
DJ Moore commits the cardinal sin in the NFL, and that is to have fun. And he takes his helmet off because we all know that the NFL stands for no fun league.
Not fun league.
Yeah. And so he takes his helmet off. Pinheiro misses the kick. So then it's going to overtime. And I'm like, all right, there's no way the Falcons cover this. They got to get the touchdown. They win the coin toss. It's like, okay, we got a chance. Mariota like immediately throws a pick. And it's like
A
all right,
terrible
so-
one, by the way.
Yeah, it was a terrible pick. So all the Panthers bettors are like, and this is in plus territory. They're already
It's the
in field goal range.
25-yard line.
Yeah.
25-yard line.
The Panthers are like, all right, easiest cover of my life. This is great. Pinheiro misses another chip shot field goal. I think it was a 34-yard field goal for the win,
Yeah.
and he missed it. So bad beat, like number 2. To which then Mariota drives down the field, gets a field goal. So now the Panthers still cover if you got them at +4 at the end of the game. But the Falcons didn't cover for me. I was very sad. It was just very sad. It was very
Austin.
sad.
Oh.
Arthur
Kicker-
Smith
he'll-
might be just a good catch.
But
a good coach.
Arthur Smith proved this is why you kick the field goal, because he won the game
Yeah.
because he kicked the field goal.
Yeah, if he had gone
kickers
for it and not got it, they
Points
would have lost.
matter.
Kickers are important. We are. I don't know if we're the only podcast in America that freaking hammers that, but kickers
No.
are important.
There's probably one that paid $4.5 million to the NFL that probably
Well, yeah,
talks about how
yeah.
kickers
And now
are
has to
important.
call it the Professional
Yeah.
Football League of America.
Professional American Football
No,
League. The
you
PAFL.
can't call it
The
that
PAFL.
anymore because
PAFL.
you can't call it that anymore because the Filipino American Football League or some shit like that.
That's funny.
Did you see their graphics were so freaking funny?
They were great. We don't like to call out other podcasts because we don't want you to go elsewhere, but it's funny stuff. What I was going to say on that same topic,
Oh shit, Black
Is-
Widow.
does Young Hoku have the worst kicking style in the NFL? I don't know,
He
but it
scares
looks
me.
ugly.
He scares
It looks
me
real
with
ugly.
this.
I know that's why y'all tune in. All right, other things that I wrote down from this Sunday, and we'll just fly through them. Just yes or no question. Is the NFL torturing London on purpose?
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Like every year, how many games have we sent to London this year? 4? 3?
4.
It's at least 3,
four.
possibly 4.
Four.
And they've all just, they've been exciting. They got the double doink,
Hey, whoa.
but it was
The
ugly
Saints
football.
game.
It was ugly football.
Yeah, and the Jags, they keep sending the Jags over. They've played like 8 or 9 games.
The
over
Jags
London.
have gone every year, possibly multiple times.
Schwarbaum 6-0.
6-0.
This. Oh God, darn.
Who pitched for the
The
Astros
Saints
tonight? Who
and-
started?
McCullers did.
McCullers is supposed to be a goddamn ace. He's supposed to
Nah.
be an ace.
Nah.
Freaking Philly is loving it.
Yeah.
When
Hey,
I guess Verlander's gonna get put on the
Tomorrow,
pitch
I believe.
tomorrow?
well, yeah. So the rain delay is going to be a big deal. They pushed the games back, so you're going to get your starting pitchers in probably 3 times maybe instead of just 2.
Yeah.
Start greasing those light poles, Philadelphia. Though,
Yeah.
if y'all win another World Series or a
Hey,
they-
championship.
they
and
oughta-
protect
they oughta
all your
keep 'em
police
greased.
horses.
They ought to keep them greased for February.
Yep. Start protecting those police horses too. Don't let people punch them anymore. That's
And
animal
if
cruelty. We don't
if
want
you're
that.
a Philly PD, just go ahead and call it sick for that.
Yep,
that
for
night.
sure. So
There ain't nothing
back-
you can do. They're gonna burn the city no matter what.
yeah, back to London. I heard a rumor that the Denver Broncos pilot quit this week due to extreme turbulence because of Russell Wilson's high knees. Is he the worst? Is he the worst?
He's
He's
the
the
absolute
worst,
worst
right?
person on the planet.
He's awful.
So at first I was like, okay, who leaked this information? Like maybe
No,
it's
he's
Russell Wilson. He's weird. It was him in an interview. then he throws his whole team under the bus. He's like, "Yeah,
Yeah.
I watched film for an hour. Everyone was asleep. I watched film for an hour. I slept for an hour. What a doofus!
Was
What
he
an
this bad in
absolute
Seattle and we just
doofus.
didn't know? Was he this bad in Seattle and we just didn't know?
No, yes, he was. He
No.
was. We just didn't give a
Pete
shit.
Carroll was able
And
to
this-
muzzle him.
Dude, this guy sucks.
I hate this son of a bitch. Anyone that goes to a podium and goes, my whole team was sleeping, but I was doing high knees in the goddamn alley during the
Can
8-hour
you
flight. Like,
imagine?
beat the
Just
shit out
imagine
of
being
that
his
guy.
teammate.
Well, I mean,
Imagine being a
Richard-
defensive lineman trying to take a little nap, and your gosh darn quarterback is in the damn aisle next to you doing high knees.
I mean,
Dude,
also,
I knew I didn't like him when he did the whole fake play run while he was hurt.
oh yeah,
Oh,
that was
yeah.
good. That was good.
Just for
And
the
he was like- he
cameras.
was
just for
calling
the
out the
cameras,
counts.
baby.
And he was
Yeah.
literally like going into the huddle, like on his knee. My gosh,
Yeah.
that dude is a
Hey,
dog.
wait, is his wife to blame for this bullshit?
No.
Because I don't believe this happened before her, or am I
Yes, it
tripping?
did.
No, yeah, it
Yeah.
all did.
Yeah.
His
I w-
ex-wife is starting to look better and better in that whole situation.
And freaking
Yeah, that horse of a lady, man. I'm telling you.
Richard Sherman.
Another
coming out-
bomb, 7-0.
Oh my gosh.
Golly. Richard
Yeah.
Philly is
Sherman.
lit.
Richard Sherman coming out and saying that he couldn't contact Russell Wilson except through
That's
Russell
terrible.
Wilson's agent. Like, holy cow, I've never seen anything like that.
Yeah, that's a bad look.
Hey,
You know what? Hey, Major League Baseball is rigged. They delayed the game so that the Astros couldn't win. It's rigged. It's rigged because the Astros cheated. That's what happened.
hey, I can't remember what the quote was in Remember the Titans, but someone needs to go up to Russell Wilson and say goodbye to your bid at the hall.
No, unfortunately, probably Russell Wilson is going to make it into the Hall of Fame. Also,
The
quote is,
sad part is,
you just lost the Hall of Fame.
yeah.
Yeah, you just lost the Hall of Fame.
The sad part to me
that
is like,
press conference about the plane, someone should have said, you just lost the Hall of Fame.
the problem is everything he does now. Like literally when he was interviewing with Laura Rutledge after the game, and he went to the camera and he was like, "Broncos country, let's ride."
Right.
And then
Let's
Laura
ride.
Rutledge literally turns around and gives her the biggest eye roll I've ever seen in my
Oh.
life.
Yeah, I mean, he's playing into it now, which is
He
making
is.
me. It makes me hate him even more.
I know he doesn't realize how stupid he looks. But even pregame when he was in the middle of the field, like acting like he was praying, and every single media member is circling him.
Yeah, that was
videoing him.
bad.
I'm like, you've got
That was bad. That was bad on the media. You got to just let the guy do what he does. And like he got a lot of flack for after the game for doing like the prayer circle. That happens in every
That happens every
NFL
game. That happens every
And
game.
the fact
yeah.
that the media like, the media is now just trying to roast him for it, I will give him that one. Like
But he's reached the point where everything he does is going to be
Correct.
criticized because he's so dang cringy.
exactly.
And then it's like
Do you-
normal, even normal stuff he does is going to be like, what the heck are you doing?
yeah.
Do
Yeah,
do
but
you
that-
really
that
think
man-
that
That
this
man
is
could
not a publicity
teach for
stunt?
Pat Mahomes.
What? Sorry,
That
John.
That man could. No, I'm not shit talking. I'm just saying he could teach a few things to Pat Mahomes. You know, you don't have to marry and stay with your high school girlfriend.
No, I just couldn't hear
Oh,
you because of
God.
Shane. That I mean, hey, I'll be controversial on this. I don't hate Brittany Matthews. She's fine, or whatever her name.
Oh, I hate her.
Brittany Mahomes
Ever
now.
since
Oh my
Champagne
God,
Gate.
her and
Ever
No,
since the
shut up about
Champagne.
Champagne Gate. I would be
Ever
lit
since the
during that.
champagne.
Now Jackson
Nope.
Mahomes.
I
Jackson
hate
Mahomes, I'm not a
Jackson
fan of.
Mahomes.
you know
Where's
what
he
should
been?
happen?
He's
You
kept
know- you know
quiet.
what
That's
should
good.
happen?
Yeah.
Aaron Rodgers and Russ need to sit Pat down and say, "Hey, man, I got rid of my high school
No,
girlfriend."
not Aaron Rodgers.
Rodgers
Not Aaron
goes,
Rodgers.
I don't talk to my family.
Yeah, no. And how's that working out for Aaron Rodgers?
He's
That
a
dude
Hall of
looks like a
Fame
total
quarterback
creep.
and arguably one of the best quarterbacks ever.
Hey,
just not playing.
One of the
good
best
this year.
quarterbacks that's and this year he's not playing great. How many Super Bowls has he been to? Like, I don't want
What?
Mahomes to be super talented and never make it
Hey.
to Super Bowls. I want Mahomes to win Super Bowls.
Yeah, I understand that, but my argument
hey,
is just get rid
Johnny.
of the girl and the brother.
Shane, I muted you because your internet's just driving me crazy today. So unmute yourself and then
Hey,
talk.
all right. Well, I'm unneeded, and Aaron Rodgers thought the ayahuasca was going to bring some good light to the ayahuasca community, and it has done the complete opposite.
No, you know what I
Terrible.
like? You know what I like about the Aaron Rodgers, Devontae Adams breakup? They both look terrible. They both do.
Yeah,
Devontae doesn't look
they're
great.
Terrible.
Aaron Rodgers doesn't look great.
Maybe they
Is
need
that
each
more
other.
That look.
They need each other.
Is that
exactly.
more on Aaron Rodgers or Derek Carr? Is that a Derek
no.
Carr situation or Aaron?
That's a
Don't
Josh
worry.
McDaniel
The
situation.
worldwide leader will tell you that Derek Carr is a top 10 quarterback. I mean, he put up 0 points in a football game, but he's a
PFF?
top 10 quarterback. I don't know where PFF had him ranked last week, but if he's still in the top 10
Zero.
on PFF should be burnt to the ground. They already should be burnt to the ground. I
Yeah,
didn't
it should.
I didn't
Everybody
look
reached
up
that point.
I did not look up a new position this week because there was already too much to talk about. We'll do that.
It's
in the
not
future.
good for your mental health.
I
anyways.
guarantee you that the number one running back is probably like Deontay Foreman.
Derek
Probably.
Carr's issue.
Who's not
is
a bad
like
running back?
Tony
Don't get me wrong.
Romo.
I like Deontay Foreman.
He's a stat guy.
He's just not the best. Whatever. All right. Hey, other questions from the NFL this Sunday that like people aren't talking about, but are the Vikings sneaky good? Or are they just like,
Yes.
are they not good and they're playing bad teams and they're winning somehow?
They got better today.
Hawkinson,
They'll end up.
Hawkinson, right?
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
a good need for
I
their
like that.
offense. I don't really like their defense, but I do like Hawkinson coming to the Vikings. I thought that was a good pickup. And they
Best
didn't
case
really have to,
scenario.
they didn't give up much.
Best case scenario is that in the first round of the play or in the wild card round of the playoffs or whatever, they end up with the Nickelodeon game.
No, I mean, they might have a home game.
Yeah, it should be the Nickelodeon game because otherwise Kirk Cousins is going to
I
screw
mean,
up.
right now the Vikings are going to be the 2 seed, are they not? Like they're good.
Yeah, so doesn't only one team get a bye these days?
Yes, and it's so dumb, and I hate
So
it.
that's the thing. So Minnesota's going to end up playing like the Falcons or whoever wins the NFC.
But that's going to be a great
South.
no, because in it, if you win your division, you play a wild card team, so they won't.
Oh shit.
They're going to end up playing like the Bucks,
Okay, yeah. So
and Tom Brady's not going to be on the Nickelodeon game. Ain't no way.
I could see him winning a playoff game though, legitimately. But I still betting on Kirk Cousins is a dangerous game.
The problem. So here's what the Vikings have got to hope for: that all of their playoff games are not in prime time.
Yeah.
If their playoff game is on prime time, they're done. But if they're not
Even
on prime
then-
time, they will win.
Even then, I'm not sure I trust old Kirk.
Their offense just has so many weapons. Like,
Yeah,
and
Justin Jefferson's a freaking beast.
Jefferson's a beast. Dalvin Cook is a beast. Adam Thielen is a beast.
Yeah.
He's not Cooper Cup levels, but like Adam Thielen is an amazing possession wide receiver. He's so good.
He doesn't get any targets this year, at least this year. I agree. He's
and
good.
The issue,
They
is if you put too much on Justin Jefferson as a defense, Adam Thielen will eat you alive.
correct.
Well, that's
really-
why I think Justin Jefferson has helped out because Adam Thielen
Yeah.
gets good.
And
bit of focus.
I like so the reason why they went out and got Hawkinson today is because Irv Smith, their tight end, is
Got
sidelined for 8 to 10 weeks. And the second he went out, they were like, all right, let's go trade for like the 4th best tight end in the league.
Yeah. And
Off
he's
the
a
top
red
of my
zone
head,
threat, dude.
He's a red
Hawkinson,
zone
I
threat.
like in the red
I
zone.
mean, and Hawkinson is athletic too. Like he's like a
Yeah.
Gesicki, kind of like tall, lanky, but like he's not just for the red zone, but he is very dangerous in the red zone.
I don't
Do we
understand the
agree
Lions for that one.
The Lions got bamboozled for that.
No,
Like,
no, they did not. The Lions are smart. They realized that they won one game this year and it's time to rebuild. And that
Draft
How
picks.
I'm
how
sorry.
often can you rebuild
Hey,
though?
MCDC is gonna get
they've
fired.
been in a rebuild for 20 years.
More than that, since
The last playoff game they won was 1991. That's the only one they won since the 60s.
MCDC is gonna get fired, and it's time to say it. MCDC is not a good coach. He's a bad coach.
Yeah, it appears to look that way. You
I
can only
love
try
him,
so
though.
many
He's a
times.
really good strength and conditioning coach somewhere.
Strength and
You know?
conditioning coach. I even take him maybe as well, maybe not a defensive coordinator because their defense
Offensive
is like
coordinator.
historically bad, but linebacker coach. I take him as a good linebacker coach.
I bet he's a good tight end coach.
No,
He did play tight end.
he's
He
an.
played
Did
tight
he?
end.
I see
Yeah.
him as a defensive guy with his mentality.
But he
He was
played
a tight
tight end.
end.
That's the weird part.
He's all
Sure,
about the trenches.
make
bro.
him a tight end coach. Fine, I don't care.
But
All right,
not a
there's
head
too
coach.
many tiers involved with him.
the other team that no one's talking about. Are the Titans any good? They keep winning. Are they good?
No.
Malik Willis looked bad.
They're like 13-point underdogs to the Chiefs this weekend.
Yeah. I think that one.
That's
might
why
go
you
over.
added that
If
in
Willis,
there, Austin.
If
No,
Willis is playing,
No, those are the two teams that are like, do you know right now, if the playoffs started today, who's the number 2 seed in the AFC? It's not the Chiefs. It's the Titans. The Titans
the
currently
Titans
have
play
the
a horrible
tiebreaker
division.
over the Chiefs.
Yeah, that's
I will say
sorry
this,
is what
on
it
the
is.
Titans end, Derrick Henry is a freaking monster.
And Mike
Yes.
Vrabel is a heck of a coach. I love Mike Vrabel as a coach.
Vrabel's probably top 2 coach in the league.
No.
He's probably top 2.
top
Bill
2.
Belichick's no longer there. He's lost his way.
All right. Please run me through your top 2.
We'll go
I would
top.
love-
We'll go top 5. We'll go top 5.
Okay, I'll give you that. But top 2, I was like, we are gonna fight, Blake.
I kept thinking of coaches, and I was like, he's pretty good.
Blake, I've got Andy Reid and Mike McDaniels as my top
No.
two.
Brandon Staley 1, Dak Taylor 2, Mike McDaniels 3,
Go ahead and throw McVay in there too.
McVay 4, Harbaugh 5. I mean, anyone who's
Get that
using
whole
analytics,
Washington Redskins coaching staff from 2012 in there.
yeah, get all the young guys in there. But yeah, the Titans keep winning games in like the
Derrick Henry.
ugliest way possible. Their defense is pretty dang good this year. Not gonna lie, they don't give up points. That's why they keep winning. That was the easiest bet of the weekend was the Titans against the Texans.
Point and a half.
Point and a half.
They didn't even need
Derrick-
half their team to
Derrick
play.
Henry averages over 200 yards and 3 touchdowns against the Texans in his career, which is just nuts. Do you know that if Derrick Henry played against the Texans for a 17-game season, he would rush for over 300 yards? Sorry, 3,000 yards.
It was like
in a
3,800 yards.
It's like something ridiculous. Like it's nuts. It's like 3,500 yards and like 28 touchdowns.
Yeah, he's stupid good.
Yeah, it's not good.
That's what saves the Titans is him.
The only other thing I noticed from this weekend, besides the games that we'll talk about with our specific teams, the Giants' kryptonite has been exposed. There's multiple of them. It's either A, score more than 24 points, or B, be up 14 points in the fourth quarter. Like the Giants can't come back from
Yeah.
a 2-score lead. So that's how you beat the Giants because everyone's been.
They're
loving
one of
the
those
Giants.
teams that once they get behind, they're done.
I love Brian Daboll. But yeah, Daniel Jones.
Actually, they've had a couple games where they come back though because Baltimore went
But
down by
it's
like
only been
10.
one score. It's been one
possession.
score. It's been like you don't need 2 touchdowns to win kind of situations. And don't turn the ball over.
That's a good rule of thumb right there.
Baltimore lost because they turned the ball over in the fourth quarter. The Giants lost this weekend because the Giants turned the ball over in the fourth quarter.
Didn't they have 2 drop punts?
They did have 2 drop punts, which is not great. There's been a lot of drop punts this year, and I don't know why.
Yeah.
I don't know why. All right, here we go. Trade deadline. We're just moving. The number one, I mean, it's not fair. The Bills got Naheem Hines. What
That's
is happening?
unbelievable.
I
That's
mean,
unbelievable.
what is Indianapolis doing?
The Bills and the
They're
Vikings
throwing in the
got
towel.
better.
Tanking.
I really don't understand like the Colts, right? The Colts still somehow they can make the playoffs somehow.
They could win their division. The Titans really aren't that
Yeah,
good, in my opinion.
yeah.
But
And it's like these GMs literally they want picks in the draft. It's like you have Naheem Hines, who is a good player. He's proven himself. Why do you want picks of a guy that we have no clue if he's going to be good or not?
also, I get that. But like, also, can we not trade him to the freaking Bills? I don't care if you trade
Agreed.
Naheem Hines. Don't trade him to the Bills.
The best team in the league.
Also, you didn't get you.
Who is in
You
your
took Zach
division?
Moss. Why did you take Zach Moss? Take more
Yeah.
draft picks instead of another crappy running
Yeah.
back. Like Moss is terrible.
Yeah.
You just gave the Bills like, oh, the Bills have one deficiency, and that's running back. All right, sweet. Let's give them a really good running back.
Yeah, because even this is not going to happen. But even if the Colts freaking turn it around, they're going to have to see the Bills in the playoffs. And you just gave the Bills a strength. Why would you do that?
And the
It's the
Denver
same thing-
Broncos
it's
did
the
the
same
exact
thing
same
as-
thing.
Yeah. Well, it's the same thing as the freaking Lions with Hawkinson.
No, the Lions
It's
make
the-
sense. The Lions suck.
are not. No, I know the Lions are not going to the playoffs. But what other sport do you see where teams trade within a deal?
The Lions make sense because Hawkinson was going to eventually ask to get paid because he's been their best player.
Yeah.
And so you don't have to pay him anymore. So that deal makes sense.
Okay,
But-
but
NFL GMs just make no sense
Popovich
to me.
traded Kawhi
Yeah.
Leonard. Greg Popovich traded Kawhi Leonard to the Toronto, which worked out for Toronto. Don't get me wrong. But we
Only
traded him
because
to where we thought
Kawhi
he
was
gonna
begging
hate
to
it.
leave.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
dude.
we traded him. We traded him to where we thought he was going to hate it most. He won a championship. I get it.
The
but
weird part about NFL trades is it's never just like a player for a player. It's always like,
No.
oh look, Chase Claypool go wherever, and
Yeah.
then we'll take like a third round pick and a
Well,
fifth round pick.
and they're always
Wait, did they-
conditional. They're always conditional picks too, which is just the
They basically
NFL.
just give away players.
The NFL.
The
I mean, I will
Steelers
give
trade
this to
Claypool?
GMs.
Yeah,
Hold on, we'll
Claypool's
talk.
out.
Yeah.
Hold on, we'll talk about that later. Don't get ahead of me. The GMs, their job is so difficult because the way that the draft and the conditional picks and all,
yeah.
they're like, let's
Yeah.
make it as confusing as possible.
Literally.
And so
I don't think it's that hard, man. When I
it
play
is that
Madden,
hard. It is that
I'm
you
like
have to be,
building franchises
No.
within like 2 seasons.
but you have to be thinking like,
It was
shoot,
a joke, Austin.
I know, but like the Seahawks, for example, the Seahawks trade Russell Wilson for a lot of draft picks, and they hit the lottery. The Broncos suck. They might get top 10 draft picks with all those ones. Like it's crazy. It is nuts that they might get like top 10 draft picks, and that's genius by Seattle. And
Very awesome.
very lucky.
It is.
But
It's like the Ridley trade. I was looking at all the contingencies, and it was literally like, well, if he catches 50 passes next
Yeah.
year, then it turns into a third round pick.
yeah,
Then if he signs an extension with the Jags, it turns into a second round pick, and
yeah,
it's like,
the
who knows what
condi-
picks you have?
The conditional picks are the ones that are weird, or like the Chiefs, for example, traded Rashad Fenton today, and it was literally just called undisclosed draft pick. Like you just don't even know what it is. Now, he's not a good player, so that's fine. But trading someone like TJ Hawkinson for conditional draft picks is crazy.
It makes no sense.
Well, okay, the Saints last year, the trade with the Eagles, we gave up a conditional pick this coming year. Well, the Eagles are going to get probably a top 4 pick in the draft, 5 pick in the draft.
No, the Saints
In all
are not.
honesty,
No, the Saints are
The
going to
Saints
be
aren't
like
that bad.
the Saints aren't that bad.
No.
What are you talking about?
they're going to end up with a top 10 draft pick that's going to go to the Eagles, and the Eagles are going to get a great wide receiver.
No,
that's gonna
because
make
that
them-
draft pick was for Gardner Johnson, right? And Gardner Johnson is dominating this year, so he's gonna. So
Yes.
that's gonna make the Eagles draft pick worse because Gardner Johnson is performing, so it's gonna make their
By
draft
some
pick.
condition.
I thought it was based on whatever the Saints get, the Eagles get that pick.
No,
The crazy part, I think GMs, like the way their mind works, they're literally like the Lions GM is sitting there like, yeah, we suck, but we can look in like the next 3 years and we have like 5 first round draft picks. So we have
Yeah.
something to look forward to. That gives us hope. And it's like, dude, you suck.
Shane,
It's
what
that
that's
whole
gonna
first
be.
There's
round
no
pick,
chance.
man.
There's no hope that you'll be there in 5 years. That's my thought.
Yeah.
I think the same thing.
Shane,
I
what
want to win now because in 5 years you're not going to be there.
what
You
that's
got
gonna
full of
be.
Rams, dude. You got to
It's
sell
good.
out for it.
Well, unless you're the Rams this year, because they're terrible.
Well,
The
that
sh-
was the whole point. They won
Yeah.
last year. They sold out for 1 year. That's all they wanted.
Well, I mean, their team is basically the exact same except for Von Miller and
Without Von
OBJ,
Miller.
and they just went.
I'm telling you, if you don't have OBJ,
No, I
Von
mean,
Miller might be the MVP.
no. The Rams is easy. Stafford's not healthy, and if your quarterback's not healthy,
No.
you're in
Yeah.
trouble.
Yeah.
But Shane, what you're trying to talk like with the Rams Eagles, as the Eagles do better, the Saints Eagles, as the Eagles do better, they owe a better draft pick to the Saints. So like because Gardner Johnson is playing so well for the Eagles, instead of owing a fourth, now the Eagles might owe
like a
the Saints a
third.
third. So
Okay.
so that's why they do the conditional. It's like, hey, I'm going to give you this guy. And if he doesn't do that great, then you don't owe me that much. But if he does do really awesome, then you owe me a lot.
Okay, I thought it was
seems like
I
the team that benefits the most out of that is the team that gets the player. It's like
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
for sure.
they have all
I
the
mean,
power.
Yeah, for sure. Or like,
yeah, but I also thought it was like if the Saints just absolutely suck, we just suck more next year
I
because
mean-
we gave up a pick.
that is when you're trading draft picks, it's always a gamble because you might get how many first round picks do the Houston Texans have over the next 3 years? Like
A
12?
lot.
And
A
they
lot,
might
yeah.
suck still because it depends on who you take.
Well, it was like
it's
the
a
Celtics.
crapshoot.
It was like how the Celtics rebuilt when they gave up their big
Yeah.
three,
Yeah.
and they traded the Nets for all these draft picks, and it turns out the Nets took these players and then still suck. So then all of Boston's picks were like top 10 picks.
Yeah.
And Boston, but the problem, the difference is you have to have a scouting or whoever department that evaluates talent to get you the picks you need. Because if you can't get the picks you need, it's all useless. That's what
It's
I've
all
learned
very
through this whole
confusing.
I
process.
mean, it's very hard to hit on a draft pick.
yeah.
There's so
the
many
hit on
things
an
that
NFL draft pick is
do they
one of
do
the
they fit the
hardest-
right scheme? Are they going to stay healthy? Do you play on turf or grass? Are they going to tear their ACL or their ankle? What position do they play? Like, is the draft pick actually good, but your team sucks? So to let you guys behind the curtain, I texted the guys earlier when TJ Hawkinson got traded because I thought it said Aiden Hutchinson, and I thought that the Lions
that would
traded
be
their number
wild.
one draft pick from this year, and I was
That
like,
would have been-
the Lions have lost their mind.
That would have been quite funny.
He's a very good player. The Lions
He is
suck.
very good,
He's a very good player. The Lions suck. I was like,
but they
oh,
don't have
they're
to pay him
being,
any money.
I was like, they're being very nice. They're getting rid of him and letting him go play for a good football team. But no, that was not the case.
Yeah, they don't have to
Bro.
pay him no money, so he doesn't mean
He's
nothing yet.
No,
He's Detroit through and through, man.
no, guarantee you when do you have to get paid after a rookie? Year 4 or year 5?
4, I think 4.
Three.
They can
Four.
pick up a 5th
Garrett,
year option or
whatever,
a 4th year option.
I guarantee
Yeah,
you Aiden
yeah.
Hutchinson doesn't play more than 3 years in Detroit.
Yeah.
Oh, as soon as he
Yep.
wants to get paid, they'll ship him out. That's what
Yep.
Detroit does.
I mean, and that's Detroit.
Hey, his daddy played there.
No,
He's
Detroit
from
doesn't care.
there.
Detroit doesn't care about.
It don't
but
matter.
It doesn't
it
matter
don't
because
matter.
Detroit doesn't care about winning football games. The Fords like to make money.
Yeah, and the Fords, I just saw a crazy stat. They've owned it since the 60s. They have won 1 playoff game.
They want to make
One.
money.
It's
And they had
it's
Barry
the Calvin
Sanders.
Johnson
They look-
curse.
No, they
You
made
know how
Barry
you make
Sanders
a lot of money.
retire early. They made Calvin Johnson retire early. They just kill talent.
You know how you make a lot of money?
So they'll
You
kill
win
Aiden
games.
Hutchinson.
No, you don't pay anyone.
You don't
win
pay any of your
games.
play. No, but you also don't pay any of your players.
But,
Minus-
but
I
If
mean,
you
I don't
win
know how much
games,
they're
you make
paying
a lot
Jared
more
Goff right
money.
now. But well, you got to think about it. Let's say you win the
So
Super
Jared's
Bowl.
not getting paid hardly anything compared to what they're paying Matt Stafford.
Let's say
Exactly.
you win the
Yeah.
Super Bowl and that adds $55 million in revenue, for example. I don't know how much it
don't
actually
matter.
adds. But if you're not paying any of your players past their rookie deal where they're all worth $940,000, you're making a lot of money by just shipping out good players for draft picks.
Plus, all the teams, I didn't know this until I was reading about the Dan Snyder situation. All the teams, like from their in-stadium revenue, they all split that. Every team takes an even split of everyone's in-stadium revenue. So, like, The reason Dan Snyder's getting in trouble is because he wasn't giving them the money or the correct money.
Oh,
And so the Detroit, by not paying players, they're still taking the same kind of money they would have got otherwise.
Yeah,
then-
Dan Snyder's getting in trouble because he was having other.
He was doing
events.
incorrect numbers.
well, then
No, he
here
was,
we
he was
go.
giving the NFL incorrect numbers.
This bit goes out to freaking Jerry Jones after we just went to your stadium this past weekend. Why is everything so freaking expensive if you've got to
Yeah.
split the cost?
Yeah, they split it.
Also, why do you advertise Dr. Pepper in your stadium and then only sell Pepsi? Get it
Yeah,
together,
that's bull
Jerry.
crap. That's bull
freaking
crap.
BS if I've ever seen it.
And then why do you let a guy outside your stadium on a megaphone go, "Do not drink, you will go to hell"?
Oh,
blah,
hey,
blah,
you got no
blah.
control of that. My other concern.
Did you go drink a beer in front of him?
Now,
I did. I have the
Johnny
video.
did.
I'll send it to you. I'll send it to you. It's great.
Jonathan made $1.62 off of that video.
Yeah.
I know that Papa John's is not the official pizza of the NFL anymore. It's Little Caesars.
Oh,
Caesars.
Austin
But-
was pissed.
I saw a guy with Papa John's and I tried to find it in Jerry World. I walked halfway around the stadium. No Papa John's. It was 3 sections from where we were sitting, just the opposite direction. I was
Yeah,
furious.
he walked the wrong way.
I
He
walked the
could've
wrong
just
way.
he could have just said to the guy sitting right in front of him, "Hey, man, where did you get that?"
He's not the
No,
guy that I saw
no.
with the Papa John's. I saw
Shane
somebody
did.
else with Papa
Shane
John's.
asked the guy where he got it.
that guy said, "Oh, about 200 foot that way." And Austin
And-
said, "Well, shit, I walked 800 million steps that way."
And then a personal pizza from Papa John's was $19. And I was like, it's not worth it. And I left.
He whiz.
Dude, Jerry Jones, you gotta get it.
$19.
You gotta get it together, bud.
Hey,
Alright,
but
hey.
shout out to Jerry Jones for having Black Rifle Coffee Company.
Black Rifle
in his
Coffee
stadium.
Company.
That was legit.
You could
Yeah,
also
I
get
mixed a
margaritas
little-
delivered to your seat. I mean, you
Yeah,
live the
you
high
could.
life in Jerry
You
World.
I had a iced coffee mixed with whiskey. It was like a slushy. It was great.
Jerry Jones
This
did
chick-
have an employee
chick
ID
behind us-
Santa Claus. Like
Oh yeah.
a man that was at least 65 years old ordered a margarita to go. And the guy came up, and then of course the guy is like the Santa Claus is like 15 seats in, and the guy delivering the margarita is like, I need to see your ID. And we're like, dude, the guy's 65. You don't need to see it. And so the ID got passed all the way down. He looked at it, passed it back, and then passed
And then
the
the
margarita. It
margarita.
was terrible.
Santa Claus legit said, "Are you serious?"
Yeah, I mean, it
And
was-
he was like, "Yeah, I'm serious."
But good for you, Jerry Jones, for respecting that you must be over
Hey,
the age
speaking
of
of
21.
speaking of Jerry Jones, did y'all see his Halloween costume?
Mhm.
No.
Oh,
That
God,
man,
no.
75 years of age or whatever he is, dressed as a blind referee,
He's got to
and now he's gonna get fined by the league.
Well, I
Are you
mean,
serious?
I
Yeah.
love Jerry
You
Jones. I
pulled
love him.
Olin Buchanan.
you
Yeah.
saw the Cowboys fans were all complaining about the refs this weekend. They won by 20 points, but whatever.
Dude, yeah, you can't complain when you get to play Chicago.
You
Like,
also-
cool.
Hey, we're gonna talk about that more later. All right, we gotta
Oh,
get through
yeah, I
the.
was about to say that would
We-
have been a good segue right there.
No, we gotta
segue
get
right
through all
there.
these trades. We gotta get. We only went through
That-
one of the
Chicago
trades.
has a trade. Just switch to that one.
Oh, they did. They traded for traded for Mapletron. Let's talk about that. Good job,
Yeah.
Jonathan. Way to host. Mapletron. That man,
There.
he sucks. He
He
sucks.
sucks.
He
First year he
talks
was a Hall
way
of
too
Famer.
much trash for how much he like sucks at football.
He was a Hall of Famer in his
Second-
rookie year. He self-proclaimed.
Second coming of Juju Smith.
Shout out my boy Tone Diggs for just giving Mapletron so much crap all the time. Because has Chase Claypool ever caught a ball cleanly in his lifetime, or does he always have to
No.
jump and fall down? All
Tone
right.
said that he jumps higher than any receiver. He gets at crazier angles than any receiver. He still don't catch the ball.
All right. We'll go this way. The Bears, boom, more transitions. Roquan Smith out. He went to Baltimore.
Dang, they are.
That's a
Why'd they
great
do that?
pickup. Great pickup by Baltimore. I hate it so much. Roquan Smith is like the definition of a Baltimore linebacker. And it's a great, it's for the brand that I appreciate it, but I hate it.
Chicago makes no sense because they decimate their defense and then they pick up Claypool like their offense is gonna get better.
Oh, yeah.
Like, why'd you do that?
We'll talk about this more later, but Miami -4 this weekend. I picked that before they traded Roquan Smith. I don't even want to know what the number is now, but I locked it in at -4 because the Dolphins are going to score 85 points against the Bears.
Yeah.
We also talked about Chase Claypool. He's a wide receiver. You know who else is a wide receiver? That no good son of a gun gambling Calvin Ridley got traded to the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Hey,
I love Arthur Smith, but that doesn't make sense. You need a wide receiver when he comes back.
Ass trade. Yeah,
that's another one that
stupid
makes no
as
sense.
shit.
Is there like some rule about gambling in Florida that doesn't exist in Atlanta? In
You
Georgia?
can legally gamble. You can
Like-
legally gamble in Florida.
Can't
Like-
do it as a player
Okay.
still.
But
No, I know.
my question is, you need a wideout when next year you need somebody. So who do they have next year?
It
I
was
don't.
probably a money thing. It
Yeah.
was probably a money thing.
But no, Calvin Ridley shouldn't be owed money yet. He should still be on
And
his rookie contract.
And the Falcons have the lowest. They've paid the least amount of money to their players this year. I think they have
Yeah.
so much money. It's
They
unbelievable.
have so much cap space. I don't get it. I do like, I mean, if you're Jacksonville,
Jacksonville, that's smart.
we're getting towards Trevor Lawrence being a bust territory. We're getting there
Yeah, we are.
very quickly. But that's another weapon for Trevor Lawrence next year.
They're selling out for Trevor Lawrence,
Dude,
and
Trevor
if he's
Lawrence,
still not good, he's a bust.
he might suck. He might be
Yeah.
bad.
Yeah.
Uh,
So what's the goal? If Trevor Lawrence doesn't make the playoffs next year, then well, fuck it. Is that
They're giving him
pretty
weapons,
much-
so he's gonna have no excuses here shortly.
Well, he would have been fine
Was
if
that-
they kept Tebow on the team last year.
You need someone to pray for your team. You need God on your side. The Dolphins, they're never
That's
going to
the
win.
Broncos. The Broncos were better with Tebow than they are with Russ.
they
shoot.
should have kept Urban as their head coach, finger banging college girls.
I just
And-
listened to this. I believe Don Shula is the most winningest coach of all time in the NFL,
What?
but he never won a Super Bowl, and he had prime Johnny Unitas and Dan Marino. So, like, is Don Shula the biggest bust of a coach of all time?
Some are saying.
Dude, if you've got Johnny Unitas in his prime and Dan Marino,
Some
like
are
Dan
saying-
Marino never won a Super Bowl. That's just nuts. Like Don Shula, good for you, bud. You knew how to win games in the regular season, but not the playoffs.
He dead. Oh yeah, he died 2 years ago.
And hey, perfect transition. The Miami Dolphins are our last big trade. Miami's doing the LA Rams from last year. They went and got themselves a running back, and they think that they're ready to win. They got I don't know his first name, Wilson from the 49ers. Anyone know Jeff Wilson?
No,
I think it's Jeff
I
Wilson.
got it right
Right?
here.
No, I thought it was Jeff.
I'm pretty sure it's Jeff.
That does
My
not
name's
sound like a
Jeff.
running back. That does not sound like a running back. in the
You can't be
NFL.
having a running back with the first name Jeff.
My
No,
name is
that's-
Jeff.
It's Jeff Wilson.
Fucking
Suck it,
dude.
everybody.
My name
It's
is Jeff Wilson.
I like the
That's
Channing
running
Tatum
back.
reference, Jonathan. Way to go.
And the Finns
you.
got
Thank
they got Bradley Chubb too.
They did get Bradley Chubb.
I did mention that earlier about Bradley Chubb going to but yeah.
Jeff
The Broncos were the
Wilson?
other one where
What
Bradley
a
Chubb
weak
leaves.
ass name.
No, dude, Chubb. I'm getting to the category where Chubb is a bust as well. Chubb was supposed to be this game wrecker next to Von Miller. He's always hurt. His numbers don't add up. Bradley Chubb is also a bust as a pass rusher.
Hey,
Now-
when you got Mike McDaniels trotting the sideline, it's all good.
Hey, a little bit of that cocaine, and it's all good in Miami.
I hope he busts in Miami as well because I don't need Miami to be good at football.
He
It
also
would
he made me
ruin-
laugh this
it
week.
would ruin Austin's take on this.
He looked at
football
No,
one of, he looked
it
at one of his
wouldn't ruin
coaches
my
this
take.
weekend.
The Dolphins are not that good of a football team.
They're undefeated
However-
with Tua playing full games.
However,
Uh-oh.
I really
Beat the Bills.
I could not stand if the Chiefs lose to the Dolphins in the playoffs because Tyreek will be
My computer's-
unbearable.
Insufferable.
I mean,
I-
Tyreek is the best wide receiver in the NFL. And I said that when he was with the Chiefs. And I will say that now. He is he's the most important receiver in the NFL. If you are
Yeah,
a
he can break a
defensive
game real
if
quick.
you are a defensive coordinator, if Tyreek is who you're against, he is the number one player that you scheme against. However,
Agreed.
right now, I will say this. The Dolphins offense, if it had a different quarterback, would be unstoppable.
He's a Tua hater. He's a Tua hater.
I
Yeah,
am a
he's
Tua
not
hater.
good.
Tua is average. If you
I
had
think he
that's fine. Go ahead. Tell me the terrible stats about QBR.
he is the
tell,
leader, the league leader in
tell me-
QBR.
tell me the
The
terrible
league
stats about
leader in
QBR.
QBR.
QBR is a dumb statistic. You tell me. All
He
right,
is ahead of Josh Allen
Hold
and Pat
up.
Mahomes.
Wait a minute.
it's a dumb
It-
statistic.
It's a dumb statistic now, but he looked it up when I was talking about Mac Jones, didn't he?
Oh,
Let's see where Mac Jones is at.
That was for fun because Mac
Mac
Jones,
Jones
had
is
QBR of
29th
14.
in the league.
That's
I
bad.
like quarterback rating more than I like QBR, but let's just eye test it for me. If these quarterbacks had the same offensive threats, let's go through the Miami Dolphins offensive threats. They have Raheem Mostert at running back. They have Chase Edmonds at running back. They now have Jeff Wilson at running back. They also have Mike Gesicki, Tyreek Hill, Jalen Waddle, and shoot, what's the other guy? What's the other wide
Hey,
receiver?
Mike Gesicki hadn't been good in 3 years.
That's not true. Mike Gesicki is an
He's
incredible
one
red
of the
zone
best
threat.
tight ends in the league, bro.
No. Wait.
Travis
Let's not-
Kelce.
Yeah, Travis Kelce is the best tight end in the league.
No,
It's
I
not
didn't
close.
say the best. I said one of the best.
He's the third best.
No,
tight
he's
end,
not. He's a good short down tight end. Good short
which is
down.
what the majority of tight ends do. He's the third
Yeah.
Not everyone
best
is
tight
Travis
end in the
Kelce.
league.
Travis Kelsey is not a tight end. He's a wide receiver that just lines up as a tight end. Fucker.
All right.
Agreed.
Screw you. He plays tight end.
still lines
so
up
he's
at tight
the best
end.
tight end. Also, Travis Kelce still blocks a lot, so he's tight end. Never mind. They got rid of they have Cedric Wilson, but he's not technically third on their depth chart. But I like Cedric Wilson. Whatever.
I like
Let's
him with
cut
the
that.
Cowboys, too.
We'll go with Waddle, Tyreek Hill, Gesicki, and two of their three awesome running backs. Does Josh Allen put up more points than Tua has put up?
Oh,
God.
I'm not-
Does Joe Burrow?
I'm not
Okay.
saying that
Does
Tua's better than Josh
Mahomes?
Allen.
Does Brady?
Okay.
Does Rodgers? Like Tua is average. He's just surrounded by the best talent. The Miami Dolphins have the best offense. If they had a better quarterback, they would be unstoppable.
I still
He's
think
like, you
that
know
we're,
what we
we're a
should do?
little
We should
unsure on
take this
Tua.
quarterback and compare him to the best quarterback in the league. That's what we should do.
I still
you-
think Tua's still too early on. He hasn't played that many games.
He's played enough.
You had Blake looking like a trucker for a hot minute.
He's anti-Tua. He's leading the league in QBR.
These two.
I mean, he ain't no Jalen,
freaking-
though. He ain't no Jalen.
Oh God.
Correct me if I'm wrong. Tua. I know I'm not wrong. Tua in his draft class. Okay, here are just the quarterbacks that were drafted with Tua. Would you rather have with that offense Tua or Joe Burrow?
Joe Burrow.
All right, so that sounded unanimous. All right. Tua or Justin
I'm not
Herbert?
saying the guy's a
Tua.
superstar. I'm saying-
No,
Tua.
no,
Tua.
do not speak that blasphemy. You would rather have Tua with that offense than Justin Herbert?
Oh,
Tua
no,
can't,
yeah,
Justin
give me-
Herbert all day.
Tua can't
I
even
don't-
throw it far enough for Tyreek Hill. Tyreek Hill has to always come to a complete stop to catch the ball.
I don't
I
have
want
enough
it to be
information on
known
Tua
that-
yet.
I have never been a huge fan of Tua. I'm just saying he has done well with what he has.
I mean, yeah, it's hard not to. Hey,
I
here we go.
like Mike McDaniel, so give me Tua.
Tua or Jordan Love? No, you still get Mike McDaniels.
What did you just say?
Man,
Did
Tua
you
or
say Jordan Love?
Love?
No,
Tua love, give me Tua.
God,
every
your
day of the
Wi-Fi
week.
is so
That's
bad.
fine.
Tua.
Shane, the question is not Tua or Justin Herbert switch places. If you could have with Mike McDaniels as your coach, Justin Herbert or Tua Tagovailoa, who would you take?
Justin Herbert.
It's not even close. Justin Herbert would break Peyton Manning's records in that offense.
Now,
would.
Yeah.
Jordan Love or Tua? I'm going to take Tua.
All right.
Yep.
Tua
Proven.
or Jalen Hurts.
Jalen Hurts.
Y'all are being prisoners of the moment.
I'm on Tua in that offense. Jalen Hurts.
I'm on
That offense doesn't fit Jalen Hurts. That offense is pocket passing. Jalen Hurts is not a pocket passer. All right. Hold on.
Nick Sirianni's a genius at this rate.
Okay,
No,
if it's
I
a
mean-
pocket pass you want,
I mean, if it's a
Mac
pocket pass, I
Jones or
want
Tua.
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 Tua every day of the week.
Because-
You want a pocket passer, don't you?
Because
Give me Tua.
Mac
Tua
Jones ain't pocket nothing.
doesn't turn the ball over. Mac does.
Unless his hands are like this.
That is true. Hey, Tua
Well, he
or
didn't turn it over on that play.
from his class, Tua or Jake Fromm?
Tua.
Where's
What
Jake
about-
Fromm at? Is he a free agent?
I'm
What about-
very sad that Jake Fromm never worked out. I really
What about
liked him
Tua
in
or
college.
Jacob Eason?
Oh, dude. Jacob Eason would be interesting.
No.
Or
Eason was still playing off high school hype, my brother.
Bro,
Tua or
Eason's
James
arm
Morgan?
is a freaking cannon. That kid,
Austin, who is James Morgan?
I don't know, but that was the 8th quarterback
James
draft.
Morgan?
James Morgan.
You said James Morgan?
Yeah, that was the 8th quarterback drafted in that round. So I was just going back based off the quarterbacks that were
Eastern
drafted the same
Michigan.
as Tua. Okay.
Blake's looking it up. I'm going.
He plays.
West
He
Virginia.
plays for the. Guess what team he plays for now?
Someone's practice squad.
Cleveland Browns.
The
XFL.
Pittsburgh Maulers of the United States Football League.
Ah, USFL.
Where'd he go to college? Where'd he go to college?
Florida International and Bowling Green.
Ah.
He was a 4th-round pick. A
Wow.
4th-round pick.
Hey, good for him. That means he made some decent money. He made more than I'll make in 20 years of my career. All right. Hey,
ain't
the
gonna
other things that happened, it wasn't on deadline day, but the Chiefs added Kadarius Toney. I wasn't excited. All right, there we go. End of story.
Okay, wait. Who's the biggest winners of free agency?
The
deadline?
Bills.
The
The
Bills.
Bills.
Okay.
It's not even
Okay.
close. It's the Bills.
Okay. Yeah. I was just
They-
curious if I was the only one on that train.
Which, you know what? If I'm Singletary from the Bills, I'm saying F off. They were in the Christian McCaffrey trade. Like, Singletary is not a bad back. They just don't ever
No.
run the football.
No,
Yeah.
they don't. They don't.
Or
need
if they
to.
do, they do it with Josh Allen.
Yeah. So
Can
it's
you
like
imagine if they did get McCaffrey?
their
That would've
offense
been
wouldn't
stupid.
change.
Yeah, I don't think it would actually help them that much.
Like, I was kind of hoping they were going to get McCaffrey and it was going to screw up their cap space and all these things because their offense literally doesn't change. They don't run the ball.
No, but I'm not saying you need to run the ball. You just have another wide receiver out there.
I
with
mean, if
McCaffrey.
you're the Bills, if I'm you, I would run the ball.
and McCaffrey can throw it too. So
That's true. He had the best
QBR.
QBR. He had the best QBR this weekend. Josh Allen took a shot this weekend.
I
Yes,
think
he
not
did.
him.
And-
I think Hines helps the Bills.
Oh, he does, but only because he's another pass catcher. I mean, he's not. They're not going to run the ball.
No, he's not. No,
McDermott.
he's not.
McDermott is still going to have Josh Allen throw the ball 70 times a game, which
Yeah.
is smart, but also, I mean,
Yeah.
a little bit of a run game is helpful. All right. Oh, man, we're trucking along. Shall we talk about all of our terrible football teams this weekend?
my team is
we should
good.
talk. We should
Was
talk
your team
about
good?
The Raiders and the Saints.
Yeah.
We should talk about the Raiders.
All right,
and the
let's talk
Saints.
about the square off. We already mentioned it. The Raiders suck. The Saints slightly suck, but they scored I mean, that game was. Did y'all actually watch that game? Did anyone actually pay attention to that game?
No,
at all?
it
didn't
doesn't.
watch it.
It doesn't
So,
show up on
as a-
local TV.
As a degenerate, I was watching the ESPN Gamecast because I actually bet on the Raiders,
Yep.
and
Same.
that quickly got out of hand.
Yep. So I paid
What?
quite because I bet on the Raiders. I paid attention to the entire second half of that game, and 0 points were scored by both teams. It was bad. It was just bad.
Let me-
Looking at
Hey,
Gamecast, and I'm
it's
like,
bad
oh, the
half
Raiders have the
football.
ball. Okay, we're
Yeah.
good. And then 2 seconds later, I look again, and the Saints had the ball again. I was like,
Yeah.
what in the world?
Let
Andy,
me
It was
tell
bad.
you.
Andy, the Red Rocket is the third best quarterback in the league.
According
We're
to Pro
gonna
Football
win a
Focus.
Super Bowl.
Nope.
Yeah, we're gonna win a Super Bowl, and it's good. We're
You're in
we're
third
living
place in your
large.
division. Third
In
place.
the worst
in your
division in football. The worst division in football.
yeah,
AFC South.
behind
No.
the
AFC South.
So let me tell you a little story about what happened yesterday.
Okay.
goody.
It was on
So-
Sunday, but yeah.
No, I know, but this happened yesterday. So, remember the neighbor that you guys met when you walked up to my house?
Yeah.
And he lives
Yeah.
down the street. He's from California. His kids were trick or treating, so they knocked on my front door, and I opened the door, and I'm giving out candy to all the kids, and all I hear is from the street, "Hey man, our Raiders fucking suck."
They do.
And
Yep.
I died laughing, and I was like, "Yep, we're."
I just love like the national media. I love the worldwide leader. They're my favorite place for laughs now. I used to watch them every morning for an hour before I went to school when I was a child because they gave you good sports journalism. And now they just give you lots of laughs. And this
You woke up
week,
an hour before school as a child.
yes, I did every day.
Yes.
I watched Sports Center all the way through twice when I was a child before I went to school.
Well, no, I used to watch it when I fell asleep before it, like at night. But like,
no, I
before
watched it
went
at
to
night
school,
and then
like,
I would watch it in the morning. I would
I'd
watch
wake
it all the
up
time.
like I'd wake up like 10 minutes before I have to like be there.
Well, we
Yeah,
already
I'd
know.
rush to
You
school.
don't sleep, so you're like up at like 4 a.m. watching 4 a.m. Sports Center. But I used to watch
No.
Sports Center. I used to
300.
watch ESPN News, the 30-minute version, twice. I would watch it. It would be the exact same program, but I wanted to make
Oh.
sure that I had all my stats
I was-
down
I
before
was gonna say
went
that
to
was back.
school.
That was back in the day when it was actually just like it would play once and it was just a pure rerun for the next 12 hours.
Yes.
that was
and that's-
fantastic.
And that's what I would do before school. I would watch it the first time. And then that was like while I was eating my cereal or something in the morning. And then I was like, I need to make sure that when I go to elementary school, that Chris McCullough's not going to like call me on something that I'm wrong on. So I'll watch it twice. I got my stats down and I'm ready to go.
Now you can't do that on sports.
Now you
Center,
can't
though.
do that because
No.
there's like 10,000.
You got to listen
programs.
to Dan Orlovsky and
My man Dan Orlovsky just saying
Mina
some terrible things.
Kines.
We
Oh,
literally
but-
used to do that all the
I'm not
time.
listening to fucking Mina Kimes.
But
This-
I
The
love
Stachkowski house had it on repeat all day, every day.
Oh yeah. I
Oh,
love the
yeah.
worldwide leader
Oh,
right
yeah.
now because this week they were like, guys, you got to watch out for the Raiders. Like they're a good football team.
Built
They're
them
good.
up.
They're a good football team. They just have had a rough start to the season. They're a sleeper playoff team, and then they scored 0 points. And
I
I
wish-
know,
Everyone would stop saying.
I
that.
know what it is. I know what happened. Bourbon Street. I mean, it happens to the best of us. We've all been there. We've all been to Bourbon Street and got a little too rowdy. They went on down to New Orleans. They might have went out Friday and Saturday night. They might have got a little too crazy on those hurricanes down in New Orleans. And then they couldn't hang. And I get it. Devontae Adams was sick because the hurricanes, man. That's
I
true.
actually saw somebody posted a crazy stat on Twitter that said something like they took all the party towns. It was like New Orleans, Miami, New York, Atlanta was in there for some reason, and there's a couple
that
others. And it
makes
was like
sense.
the record.
Trixie's in Atlanta.
What's
well,
the
the
place with
record-
the wings?
No, it's
That's in
Magic,
Orlando.
Oh, Orlando.
Magic City. I think it's Magic City or something like
Is
that.
that? I thought that was in
Yeah,
Atlanta
that's
for
in
some reason.
Orlando.
No, it's
No,
Atlanta.
Yeah, it's Atlanta. Lou Williams.
flew to Atlanta.
Yes, I was like,
to
I
get the
know I'm
wings.
right.
Shit. I
Magic
And
thought
then
City
he
went
is
was
back.
in
definitely in
Orlando.
Atlanta.
No, he flew to Atlanta. He snuck out and flew to Atlanta.
Yeah,
Who
because
does
the bubble,
That? That's crazy.
Yes,
the
no
bubble
joke.
was in Orlando, and he
Yes.
flew to Atlanta and then came back.
And then his excuse was, well, they got good wings.
Oh yeah, they do. They got the best
That
wings that
was-
you've ever had.
That's Trixie's.
No, I think it's Magic City.
No, Magic City is the
Magic
place
City
with the.
is where
good
Lou Williams
wings.
Apparently, they have the best wings. Alex Caruso actually said he was like, they do have some pretty dang good wings.
I can't wait to visit Blake in Atlanta and try out these wings.
at the strip
I-
club.
Hey,
I don't know
if
if we trust this place.
Hey, to all of our wives out there, if we go to a game in Atlanta, we will not go to Magic City. That is a promise from at least me. I can't promise for other people, but I will not be
So-
going to Magic
Promise
City.
for me. Too.
I just
Yeah, there we
googled.
go.
I just googled it. I just googled the location of it. Not looking good for us, boys.
Where is it?
It's
Oh,
like
dude.
it's not. It's about 2 miles from my apartment, but it's right like downtown, east of downtown,
It's just in a rough neighborhood.
or west of downtown. It's not
Hey.
looking good.
So
We've
did
been-
Blake just Google that just to make sure everyone thinks
Yeah,
he
yeah,
hasn't
yeah,
been there before?
Exactly.
No, I've never been there. I got a
But-
strip club. I have a strip club about 2 minutes down the road. That's a bunch of 60-year-old women, apparently.
Apparently.
I mean,
I love how he threw that on.
if
No,
Magic,
I went.
hey, if Magic City's only 2 miles away from you, it's only like 5 minutes tops. I'm not
It is
saying you should
exactly-
go, but
It is
Blake really
4.5 miles
turned it-
away.
oh,
Blake
okay.
really moved back to the ghetto once he left
Yep.
Dallas.
Hey,
No,
I
I'm-
went.
my-
To,
hey,
I went.
I'm surrounded by like $2 million houses. That's the crazy part. Then you go
Our
about a
man-
mile away. It's not
Hey.
good.
our man is trying to buy himself a house. He's saving money.
I'm trying to. These interest
These
rates are killing me though.
Freaking
Bro.
interest rates. Hey, gas is on its way down. I'm at 292. Let's
The
go.
you
interest rates
think-
actually went down.
Do you, Austin, as a teacher, do you think $4.11 a gallon is good, or is
I mean,
that not good?
I don't drive diesel, so
Oh
I
well,
drive
my
gas.
fa-
It's still expensive
my-
as hell.
I mean
My
it's
Fox
292.
News-
It's not 411.
my Fox News contributor told Jean Pierre Chien, or whatever the hell his name is.
It's a her.
Do you think $4.11 is a good gas price? And
I mean
Her,
that's
him.
probably is that the national average because of like
It's the
California
national
and the
average.
West Coast? Yeah.
What'd
But
she
for-
say? What'd she say to that?
She just looked bamboozled. She was
Probably
absolutely
said, I
buffoon.
haven't filled up a car's gas tank in about 5 years. And
Yeah.
He also-
have
I
an
have-
electric
I have a
moped.
personal driver.
He also
She said-
asked her. He said, "Why would the gas companies listen to you when you're actively trying to shut down their business?" And she said, What are we doing to actively shut down their business?" And he said, "I don't know, moving to all green like resources.
Yeah.
That might be a good indicator."
And this is
They're
your
all a bunch
political
of dummies.
commentary.
There we go.
And
It
we're
happens
back.
Every podcast.
Yep, it does. And we're back.
Go vote, people, next week.
Yep. Hey, we are
I
exactly
wouldn't.
Herschel.
we are
Go
exactly
I-
7 days away from voting day.
Go
Actu-
2
oh my-
episodes back.
y'all,
Figure out who we want to vote for.
y'all. Next week's podcast is gonna be electric because we're gonna be on here
It's on. It's
As
on
the results-
Election
Day.
night?
Yeah.
Oh,
as
I'm
the
having
results
CNN.
come in.
I have
Ooh.
CNN on so I can hear some tears.
All right.
Oh,
No,
shit.
I'm
know
gonna
what?
be on
We figured it out.
MSNBC, so I'm gonna be on MSNBC so I can watch that doofus.
11,
Oh, here and here and here and whatever his
11
name is. So,
episodes is how far we made it. We're gonna make it to 11. We're at 10. We'll get canceled after episode 11. So
Oh,
it's good to know that we had a cap.
speaking of
Scott,
politics,
what's his name? Scott. What's his last name? The board guy on CNN. He's amazing. I love my guy. He did the Olympics with NBC. Shoot.
I don't
yeah,
know.
Scott
A lot
Van
of the-
Doofus.
I went and
no,
voted.
not doofus. That man is amazing.
I went and voted last week.
Way to go.
Dallas County District 301 County Judge of Appeals is a write-in only ballot. So I
Nice.
called everyone I knew in Dallas County to write
Oh,
my
God.
name in for judge.
Nice.
Oh, God.
His name
I
is Steve
currently have 10
Kornacki.
votes.
My boy Steve Kornacki.
Yeah,
is
Steve
a boss.
Kornacki. He's a
Kornacki
G.
is
He a
amazing.
G.
I don't
Yeah,
Is that
care
the guy with the
what.
white hair? Is that the
No,
white hair guy?
He's the guy that did the Olympics and does whenever like CNN or whatever, like whenever there's a
was-
big election, he's the guy that does the
Yes.
big board, and he
He-
is electric.
He's drawn into the county. He's like, if this county was
Oh,
this and
yeah.
blah, 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 blah.
We
And he double
need-
taps the screen all the time.
Yeah.
He's like,
Yeah, he's
We need Steve Kornacki to be the commentator for every primetime football game, and then it would be amazing.
Steve Kornacki.
I can
Hey.
guarantee you his boyfriend double taps his wiener at
All
to
right.
get it hard.
Speaking of football games that were not very good this weekend, let's talk about the
There it
Cowboys
is,
game.
folks.
Let's talk about the Cowboys game. The Chiefs were off this week. We needed a bye. I don't like that our bye week was this early in the season. Whatever. For the first time all football season, the Cowboys offense showed up and the defense kind of didn't.
Well, I think here's the thing. I won't read into the second half too much. You go up on a team 28-7. You kind of
Oh,
take
that-
your foot off the gas a little bit.
But that game got close. It was a 5-score. It was a
Oh, I
5-point
know.
game. It was a 5-point game.
Yeah.
And
No, I
then
know it makes no sense, but it
The
did. But then they
most
just poured
I'm
down.
not a fan
Controversial-
of taking your foot off the gas at any
Yeah.
point in a football game.
Oh, I'm not either. Don't worry, I'm not.
no, I will say this: Chicago's offense is improving. Justin Fields is improving.
Either. They're figuring something out. They're following the Jalen Hurts method a bit, but
Justin Fields is starting to move his feet and realizing that he sucks when he throws from the pocket. But if he moves out of the
he
pocket,
can run.
then he can run. And also, after he leaves the pocket, because the teams know he can run, guys get wide open. And so Justin Fields is learning as a quarterback. Good for him. It's nice when the Bears are not complete dumpster fires of a
Which has
football
been a
team.
while. It's been a while. Thank you, Jay
It's been-
Cutler.
Pretty
It's
much
been
since
since-
like the
Smoking
80s.
Dude, Jay
Jay.
Cutler.
No,
Smoking
no,
Jay.
it's been since they played the Saints in the NFC Championship.
I'll say they played an NFC Championship game with. Was that with Jay Cutler?
No, that was that's when what's his name
That
running-
Orton?
the punt returner
Devin
or
Hester.
the kick returner
Devin Hester, I believe, returned. I believe
Yeah.
Devin Hester owns the record for the quickest touchdown scored in NFL Super Bowl history.
Yeah, because he
'Cause
just straight
ret-
up took
He
the
returned
kick
the
and
opening
bam.
kickoff against the Colts.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
yep.
It wasn't Pat though that kicked it off, right?
I think it.
No,
No, I don't think it was.
no.
Was it?
I think Pat kicked off the game against the Saints.
Yeah, he kicked off because he is a true he will never stop talking about Drew Brees' stupid ass baby being
Oh, he should have talked about
held
Trey Porter
held up.
returning the pick six that won the game. But all right, so there's one play that I have a lot of hot takes when it comes to Dallas Cowboys, specifically on number 11, Micah Parsons.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, I got a lot of hot takes when it comes to Micah Parsons. Number one, it's not a hot take. Micah Parsons is very good at football.
Yeah.
Okay. Number two,
I thought you were gonna be controversial.
nope, this one is controversial. All week, all I've heard is that Micah Parsons scooped and scored against the Bears. It's not a scoop and score. He fell on the ball. It's not
Justin
a scoop
Fields
and score.
Also,
if you don't scoop up the ball.
Justin Fields also jumped over him instead of touching him.
Also, when if you watch that replay, when Micah Parsons stands up, he tries to hand the ball to the referee. He has no idea. And the coolest referee in NFL history just looks at him and goes, nope.
Oh,
Run.
yeah. And finally,
So-
his teammates were like, "Go, go!"
So yeah, all this BS about Micah Parsons being brilliant for knowing he didn't get touched and for the scoop and score. No, Micah Parsons. Now, I will say this. Micah Parsons 2 weeks in a row shows that he knows that he played middle school football against the Detroit Lions. He runs past the quarterback. The ball
Yep.
gets thrown. He chases the ball down. He tackled the tight end on the 1 yard line. Jamal Williams fumbled on the 1 yard line. Three of us were there to see it. It was great.
Oh,
It was not great. It was not great.
What happened?
Rest
What
in
happened?
peace.
What happened?
Rest in peace to the Pittsburgh Penguins.
No, no,
Boston, Boston just tied it with a minute left.
Oh no.
I love hockey. I love hockey.
Dude, hockey's crazy because you could be up 7 goals and it's not a safe lead.
Yeah,
Blake,
seriously.
Blake, what year was this when me and you were watching?
Oh, that must have been like
hockey late at-
2015. And there was
No,
like
it
6
was,
goals.
It was before that. Yeah,
There
it was
6
in
goals
30
in the span
seconds.
of 30 seconds.
Yeah,
was
it was probably
incredible.
2008, Blake.
All
might
right,
have been.
hey,
Let's be honest.
Anyways, that was hockey talk.
second talk. Micah Parsons this week runs past the quarterback again. Justin Fields scrambles out, throws the ball. Micah Parsons chases it down. Someone else forces a fumble. Micah jumps on the fumble. Good for him. He played middle school football. The ball is not dead until the whistle blows. That's awesome. But if I hear Micah Parsons for defensive MVP one more time right now, he's not even close. He's not in my book. He's not even
gonna
close.
keep hearing it.
He's
Who are you
not
Maybe
giving
not
to?
from.
and he shouldn't be close. I want to go
Von
around the horn.
Miller.
No, I want to go around the horn. Who's the best defensive player in football right now?
Von Miller.
We did this a couple weeks ago.
No, so we did kind of like. Sorry, let me rephrase that. Who from this season only? I don't want to say based on stats because that's not how this is going to go.
Von Miller.
Currently, which player do offensive coordinators play around the most? Do they strategize around the most?
Oh, okay.
Trayvon Diggs.
No, not even close. Not even close.
Miles Garrett looked pretty dominant last night.
It's
I hate
not.
to say it.
It's not a
Aaron
player that you would
Donald.
think of.
It's Aaron Donald. Oh,
So-
Aiden Hutchinson. Oh,
No,
not Aiden Hutchinson.
gosh.
The Bengals cat.
Oh, Henderson?
because-
No.
Interesting.
No, he screwed my Saints. So fuck that motherfucker.
I think Micah Parsons is up there, though.
I still think Michael Parsons is up there.
So my problem is the guy, in my opinion, who should be defensive MVP doesn't play a position that gives him the chance to win defensive MVP.
The quarterback.
Nope. Patrick Surtain. Yeah, the cornerback. Patrick Surtain
Oh, yeah.
second is the defensive MVP.
Yeah,
he doesn't get
good.
thrown at because teams
no,
know,
he's good.
hey,
Yeah.
whoever he is covering, that receiver is a wash for the whole play.
Yeah.
They should probably
true.
they should keep a stat like how they probably do, like how often are they actually thrown at, and like keep that, like allow that to rank cornerbacks.
Oh,
There are
Blake,
cornerbacks that are probably
PFF keeps that stat. I guarantee it.
because like
Well,
if
like-
Pat Surtain is getting thrown at like 2% of the throwing plays versus his teammates getting thrown to 40% of the throwing plays, he has 0 interceptions or something like that. It's like, yeah, because they don't throw it at him.
Like Micah Parsons, he's only got 36 tackles this year. There's 6 people ahead of him in sacks alone. And he's not even getting doubled. He's not even getting the TJ Watt treatment yet. I mean, in some games and some plays, yes, but he's not getting the TJ Watt treatment on every play. Like he's not there yet. He's not the defensive MVP.
Still young though. Still young.
He's young, super big upside, very good player. But I'm really tired of hearing that he's the best defensive player because it's just not true. It's just not true.
Tom Brady shows up as one of the best
And
defensive players on PFF. That
Tom
don't make
Brady,
sense.
that's possible. If Sauce Gardner doesn't win Defensive Rookie of the Year, then it's just a wash.
Yeah, Sauce is looking pretty saucy.
because Sauce looks
okay.
saucy, and also
Austin.
teams don't throw at Sauce. They already know he's a rookie and they don't throw at him. If you put any other rookie cornerback out there, quarterbacks target that guy.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
Sauce, they
Always.
just go, nope, just throw it away from him.
This honestly, this is just I didn't search this, but Austin, who do you think on PFF is the #1 interior defensive player in the NFL?
Interior.
Yeah.
Jordan Davis.
I mean,
Austin's gonna be so fucking pissed.
oh, I mean, well, that means it's probably not Chris Jones.
It is Chris Jones.
I was gonna say
Oh.
Chris Jones.
Why would I be pissed? Chris Jones is having a great year.
No, but I'm looking. I'm just looking for the best defensive player on PFF, and they don't have that.
Aaron Donald is the best defensive interior lineman. I don't care what. you say.
Yes.
And number 2, it depends on what you're asking for. But if you're asking for run stopping, number 2 is Vita Vea. If you're asking for pass rushing, number 2 is Chris Jones.
That's why PFF is so screwed. It's like
I mean, PFF is screwed
There's-
because they don't actually watch the football games.
I
That's
believe
why they
that.
think Andy Dalton is number 3.
Hey, no, whoa. PFF names Raiders defensive end Max Crosby.
Max Crosby's a beast. He's a beast. And Max Crosby, if you listen to the Football's King podcast, if you would like to
Shut your
come win,
mouth.
if you would like to come win football games, we would love
your
you on the
mouth.
Kansas City Chiefs.
Shut
All
your
right.
mouth.
We'll love you on the New Orleans Saints.
Hey, y'all, we did pretty well. Efficiency podcast. We did pretty well. I had one. I think it was a great
good.
second.
That's good because I'm fading fast.
That's fine. I can see that. I do have a quick question. We did it last week of how many hits could you take? So this week in the Oklahoma drill, how many tries would it take you to get this player on the ground? I've got 3. Number 1, in the Oklahoma drill, how many tries would it take for you to get Lamar Jackson on the ground?
I'll
Oh.
get Lamar down eventually.
I'll
I can grab
I'll
him.
take one
You
shot.
might not touch him. You might not touch him.
Nah, I got him.
Nah,
One
give
shot.
Give me
two,
10
Rob.
tries. Give me 10 tries. I think I can get him down once. Oklahoma drill. He doesn't have much room to juke. I can dive at his legs. He's not.
Yeah,
Once you hit
yep,
his legs, he's done.
Yep.
Man,
Yeah.
I'm breaking
You gotta remember-
his leg.
Oklahoma drill, you got to get up quick, and Lamar's quick.
I'll dive at his legs.
Lamar is going to be standing before you are going to be standing. And
Yeah,
then
fine.
you just gotta get
I'm
his
not
legs.
saying
Just get
I'm
his
not gonna
legs.
instruct
it's
the
hard to
dude.
get
I'll
his
crawl.
legs, Shane.
I'm
I may not even
instructing
stand
him.
up. I might be crawling.
Yeah, I'm not trucking him. All I have to do is latch onto his leg and hope he trips.
All right.
Wow.
That's how I would tackle him.
Number
Say
2,
Derrick Henry, unlimited.
Derrick Henry.
Unlimited. That dude would
Okay,
trust
yeah.
me
It's
to
not
death.
happening.
Yeah. Never
His
gonna
legs, his leg is like a 100-year-old tree trunk.
All right.
Let's put it
Yeah.
this way.
Hey.
I feel like if all 4 of us try to tackle Derrick Henry, it may not work even
Hey.
1 out of 50 times.
No.
Have I-
We'll
have-
do this. We'll do this logically. Shane and I will grab the knees, and then you and Blake just like freaking jump at the top of him. Surely,
I
he's
I think
gonna
he
go
would
down.
walk.
Can you imagine
Still
though?
zero,
Can you
still
imagine
zero.
taking a full speed knee from that man? Like
Oh,
when
man, he
you're
would-
going to tackle and his knee comes up and just
I
hits
would-
you in the chest.
I'd tap
Oh,
out.
dude.
Tap out.
Yeah, that'd be
Uh,
unlimited
have I-
tries.
All right.
Wait,
let's try.
time out.
Okay,
Have I
all right,
told you
all
my Derrick Henry story?
What Derrick Henry story could you possibly have?
No, no, it's a good story. About who he's dating. So when I worked in West Texas, he is dating a little Mexicano chica, and her dad worked for Atmos, and this is crazy. The dad's wife was the news lady in freaking Midland, and they're the little tiniest little son of a guns. And I did not know this at the time, but I said they were talking about Derrick Henry, and I said, if your daughter ever dates Derrick Henry, he is gonna murder your daughter. And then someone told me they're about to get married. And I said, oh shit, because I just pretty much told this guy that
Hey.
Derrick Henry was gonna.
This
was
is why
gonna
you
kill
tune in
your
to the
son.
Football's King podcast right here. You
That
don't get this
insider
anywhere else.
information, I would have
That's
never known
insider
that.
information. All right. Hey, let's talk about Derrick Henry.
Good story.
Najee Harris. How many tries?
That's the same situation.
Oh, you would
He's
truck. He
No.
would truck
big.
me.
Najee Harris is significantly smaller than Derrick Henry.
He would still destroy me.
He's
Najee
so
Harris is
big.
just tall. He's very tall.
I'd rather have like a
All right. Tyreek Hill then. If we're going small, you think you can catch
okay.
you think
I-
you can touch
no.
Tyree Hill in a box? I think
You just
Tyreek Hill,
have to-
I
you have
think
to get
Tyreek
to
Hill
him
runs
once.
past you before you even stand up. That dude is
Who said I'm
fast.
standing up, Boston? I'm just gonna roll into him.
That's
and
tripping.
flail
That's a 15-yard penalty.
I'm gonna flail
Ooh,
my
Pittsburgh.
legs and open
Hey.
kick him.
Oh, they lose in
if it's all-
overtime.
They lost. Yeah.
Hey,
if-
that's a point. That's a point. You take it.
If it's all four of us, me and Austin get the upper body, you and Blake get the lower body, we got a chance.
Okay. I'll rephrase the question. Forget the Oklahoma drill. I had one more that I wrote down, who is a mixture, in my opinion, of Lamar
Uh-oh.
and Derrick Henry, which were the other two names I wrote down. If it is the four of us, let's say that this NFL player gets
Christian McCaffrey.
2 yards of a
Josh
head
Allen.
2 yards of a head start. Thank you, Jonathan, for understanding the concept. So let's say it's 4th and 2. He starts 2 yards in the backfield. So basically he's got to get 4 yards from where he starts. How many tries does it take the four of us to stop Josh Allen from getting 4 yards?
Oh,
Oh,
zero.
Unlimited.
I mean, he'll juke the first guy and then run
We're
over
never
the next
stopping him.
3. I mean, he's a monster.
He's a
What
Dude,
if
he
we
he's
runs,
have
built
he's
a
a beast.
true game plan though, and it's not like no rules involved? Let's daisy chain this
Jonathan.
shit. He can't get away from all of us.
Jonathan's strategy is that he's going to sacrifice himself and just try to hit Josh Allen helmet to helmet.
Dude,
And then
as hard
Dane's
as I
going to take out his
possibly could.
kneecaps. And then Blake and I will just try to apply enough force to knock him backwards.
Like
If we
Like,
hit Josh Allen
honestly,
helmet to helmet,
with-
our heads would fly off.
without rules, I'd probably try to
CTE
drop
has
kick.
never been so prevalent.
So
Yeah.
CTE
Jonathan's
is-
strategy.
It'd be
No,
the
I got
worst
it.
form of CTE.
Jonathan packs his helmet full of cement and C4. And then he hits him and it explodes. And then Josh Allen just dies. And then we made the stop.
Hey,
Violence.
we gotta stop. We gotta
I
stop.
think I
Stop.
would try to drop kick him before anything. If I don't have rules involved, it's just full-fledged prison yard drop kick.
Dude, I feel like if you try to drop kick Josh Allen, you have no more ankles.
Twist him in
Like,
the
he
dick.
just runs, he runs
Yeah,
right through your feet. That's what happens. All right.
Just hit him in the dick.
Hey,
Don't dick twist.
it's 10 o'clock and we finished. Way to go, everybody.
Awesome.
I know that some people have been following our podcast. Currently it's 7-0 in the baseball game. The Astros, they ain't gonna win.
That's
Dead.
terrible.
The
I turned it
Penguins,
off.
Penguins
Long
probably
time ago.
lost in overtime, according to what Blake said. That's sad, but they made it to
With a
overtime
minute
against the
left.
Bruins, which is more than what I thought. Let's talk about our picks for this week, and then let's get out of here. Blake can go to
Hey.
bed kind of on time. I'll stay up for another 2 hours for the buffering of the podcast.
Big Daddy done texting me my picks.
All right, here we go. Well, all right, Shane, you can lead us off then. Who do you want to take this week?
Oh shit.
Well,
I
just
got
kidding.
I got Coastal Carolina +3 against App State. We're gonna dig deep. Then I got the Vikings -3.5 against the Condoms.
Rat line. Wait, we didn't think of did anyone think of a new name?
You just
No,
called
I
it the
did-
condom.
No, the
Austin
condoms was
called
last
them
week.
the-
That
yeah,
was last
Austin
week.
called
We
them
need a new
condoms.
name.
The-
And pause.
I like
Shane-
Austin with
Shane is taking Vikings -3.5 against the Washington Kebabs. All right.
yeah.
Nah, I like mine better.
And then
No, yours was way
And
too
then I-
inappropriate. We're moving on.
And then I've got the Seahawks plus 2.5 against the Cardinals.
The other rat line of the week, but I like it.
Oh.
I like it so much. I love the Seahawks and I hate the Cardinals, but the Cardinals offense is kind of scoring points. All right, Blake, you groaned. You can go second.
Why are me and Shane picking together? I took
Yeah.
Minnesota minus 3.5 over the Commies. I got Seattle plus 2.5 over the Cardinals. Then I got Wake Forest minus 5.5 over NC State.
I would like to clarify. Blake took the Vikings minus 3.5,
Over.
not over the Commies, over the Kebabs this week. and so they're
Kebabs, the Cubs.
All right.
I kind of
that's
want to
fine.
take them so I can say my name, but
All right, Jonathan, we know you didn't bet NFL football. Sorry,
No, straight-
PAFL
straight.
football. We know you didn't bet
Yeah.
professional football. So
actually,
you can,
legitimately 3 Texas college teams.
hey, remember that time?
Oh, imagine that.
No. You bet a Kansas
Well,
football team.
no, against one, but
Yeah.
yeah.
Remember that time that
3
you bet 3
college
Texas
teams.
football teams and it went terribly? All right, let's see how that goes this week.
All right, I'm taking the Texas A&M Aggies minus 3.5 over the Florida Gators.
No, that's no. Mm-mm.
Yep, we're good.
The hook is so bad there.
Don't worry about it. We're taking the TCU Horned Frogs minus 9 over the Texas Tech Red Raiders.
Yep.
And then we're because I'm gonna ride TCU until they fall apart
Same.
some part. And then I'm taking Kansas State Wildcats over the Texas Longhorns plus 2.5. Kansas State's just the second best team in the Big 12.
I had the Kansas State game written down all week, except for I just was like, I can't figure out why Vegas has them favored. So I didn't take it, but I like your I like 2 of your 3 bets. I don't like the Aggie bet, but that's fine. I've been saying this now for a couple weeks. I'm riding these trains until they fail me. I'm taking TCU minus 9. I wrote that down. I wrote TCU down before I even looked at the number. I wrote TCU down. I was like, whatever their number is, I'm taking it. Minus 9. I'm taking,
Fire Bimbo.
even though I do not agree, I'm taking the Tennessee Volunteers until they let me down at plus 8.5 against the Georgia Bulldogs this weekend. I'm hoping for a lot of
Too
points.
You're taking that on the pod?
Yeah, dude, I've been taking TCU and Tennessee every week that I can because they're covering machines. And
It's just the points that bother me on that one.
I mean, they're plus 8.5. So
Yeah.
they get 8.5 points. I'll take
Are
that.
they still right now 8.5-point dogs?
Yes, I
They
checked.
started at like 11. They started
Yeah.
at like 11.
Here's kind of my thought is like, I know that I said I think TCU is the number 1 team in the country.
no.
I'm also terrified.
Well, you're a fucking buffoon.
TCU
No,
is
I'm-
definitely not the number 1 team in the country.
Not TCU. I'm sorry. Tennessee. Sorry. I'm sorry.
They're not the number 1 team in the country. Georgia is.
They're currently ranked number 1.
They're not.
I'm-
But no, I mean they are. But yes, but that's stupid of the college football playoff
I'm
committee.
terrified. I'm terrified that Georgia comes in and beats them by like 14, 20. Like I really
14 really wouldn't be that bad. 20 would not be great.
like I could just see Georgia coming out and being like, "Hey, little dude, go check yourself over there."
And the game is in Athens, so it makes sense.
Yeah.
I'm hoping that Tennessee can continue to score and that they cover. I mean, best case scenario, Tennessee wins. Let's go chaos, baby. I want to see it. But
Oh, root for
Chaos.
chaos. I'm all
But
about
yeah.
chaos.
I'm taking TCU and Tennessee until they let me down 2 weeks in a row. And that hasn't happened so far. So I'm going to keep going. I'm also taking the Miami Dolphins minus 4 against the Bears. The Bears
Oh, you
defense
son
sucks.
of a bitch.
The Bears defense is terrible.
You
And,
son of a
um,
bitch.
Do you know that right now Tyreek Hill is on track to beat Calvin Johnson's record for the best wide receiving
I
team of all
believe
time?
it. That's
So-
because Mike.
After all
that's
that
'cause
Dolphin
Mike
slander, I can't
McDaniels
even
is
listen
a
to this.
goddamn G.
No, that's because the difference between Tyreek Hill's
Well, he didn't do
season-
it with the Chiefs, did he? Did he do it with the Chiefs?
No, the difference is Calvin Johnson got targeted an average of 7 times per game, while Tyreek Hill is getting averaged 16 times per game. So like
That's called
Or-
coaching.
for Tyreek to beat Calvin Johnson, it literally takes twice as many pass attempts.
Hey,
That's
fine.
how
Mike
good.
McDaniels.
No, that's just how good Calvin Johnson was that year. He was incredible.
If you were snorting cocaine, you'd be doing the same shit. Can't argue with that one.
Muted.
I don't know how
Can't
I
argue.
muted.
Yourself.
I don't know how I
Can't
muted
argue.
myself, but I did. So there you go. They
Ah, that's
No, Miami with all their weapons, I think beat the Bears by more than 4, which is why I took them.
I
There we
agree
go.
with you.
So
Yeah.
hopefully that doesn't happen
that's
though, because I need the Bears to win.
That's because that old Colombian Bam Bam be hitting pretty good.
No, it's because the Bears are that bad at football.
Colombian Bam Bam.
I was tempted to take Philadelphia minus 13 against the
I wanted to
Texans,
take that so bad, but it's Thursday night, so I was like, nah, I'm not doing it.
and 13 points is a lot, but the
Hey,
Texans are bad.
wait. Before we log off here, can we talk about the travesty of prime time football?
We
Oh,
have
gosh.
mentioned it many times, but yes,
Puts
it's
me to
bad.
sleep every time.
It's bad.
Fucking shit.
Bezos is really regretting that purchase.
No, he's not. He's making money with all those Amazon ads. Everyone's signing up for Amazon, even though
Yeah,
they
why am
already
I
have
paying for Amazon Prime and still having to watch advertisements? That's unbelievable.
Have you seen the fucking steroids Jeff Bezos is taking? That motherfucker is ripped.
No, he's massive. He's definitely on HGH and some
Dude.
crank.
Shane, this wine and couple Coors Light, I feel like they've gotten to you a little bit. You're getting to Shane in the fourth quarter of A&M versus fucking South Carolina over here. It's a good time. It's a good time.
Yeah, we're gonna have to,
Look at
we're
him
gonna start
rocking.
we're gonna start throwing
rocking.
some hats here before long.
All right. Hey, that's going to wrap us up for this week. It was a crazy week of football. Get excited because episode 11, we're going to have some intense football games to go with. We got Georgia, Tennessee, which is huge. We got Alabama, LSU, which is going to be huge. Obviously, A&M is going to win against Florida. Suck it, Scooter Magruder. Boom. Roasted. Bring it on. Join the podcast if you want to, Scooter Magruder. We'll have you on. But and then we got all 4 of our teams, I believe, play this week in the NFL. Hold on. Hold on. No.
Yeah.
Yes. No, Cowboys are off. Just kidding. But we got a good slate of professional football games this weekend as well. And we will see you next week. Thanks for listening in. As always, please like and subscribe on YouTube. And please, I don't know, like/share on Spotify. I don't know how Spotify works. But we appreciate all of your time for listening in our long podcast of today. See you in week 11, everybody.